Welcome back, everyone. Welcome to the Salty Dragon Tavern.
Yeah, very salty today.
Pull up a chair, grab a drink, and come watch us play some Dungeons and Dragons in Althea, one of the LARP worlds we used to play in.
You didn't let me press record before you said that.
That's a good point. Oh, pressing record probably a good idea. I should be pressing record.
I've done it.
It's fine. We'll just like copy and paste every other time you said that intro.
I should just get like a thing. I just go and just do it so it does it automatically for me.
Rolled intro feed.
Whoa! Look at that.
What?
The feed just very briefly just went like holy purple lines.
Oh, I didn't see that.
What if I've already had a chat and a drink? We'll just stay.
Oh,
Yeah,
what is
you
he drinking
definitely
now?
need
What
to
did we
know
leave
what.
in the house?
You never have enough.
Never have enough.
What did we
that's
leave in
true.
the house?
Have 20 drinks,
Okay.
all the alcohol.
Thank you, Cummy.
I want drunk comments, please.
I was going to say, this game is far more entertaining while drunk if you're viewing it.
Yes.
If you want to see us drunk while playing it,
thank you.
make sure that you like donate.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Son.
Unreal.
Thank you. We love you very much.
Always a pleasure to
Boy,
have you.
Sunreal.
She just put a subscription
Oh, nice. Welcome to the club.
in. I'm totally Toba. Also felt.
Don't unsubscribe when you
I'm
sober
not as
up.
think as you drunk I am.
Put that up against the actual wall, so if someone needs to quickly get out of the door, they're not knocking around a chair as well.
Oh, I have the drink.
Yeah,
There's
like
a chair
my
in
constant
there.
Where'd
pee
you get
breaks.
those? Those are not in
I've
there.
had
Alright,
donkey.
let's get into the little announcements that we must do all the time.
Scroll through until you find it.
First and foremost, if you are a LARPer and you're watching this particular channel, we always have all the LARPs coming up listed in our channel. If you just scroll down a little bit, you'll see the links to the current events coming up in the first 6 months. There's also a link to the Excel spreadsheet of all of the related LARP and reenactment and Renaissance Fair type events happening, fantastically put together by one of the community. If you are coming for our D&D game, thank you. On Tuesday we have another LARP talk, which I will be talking with Mick as one of the people who will be coming, and I'll go a few of my other old friends.
Wow,
wait.
Tim, that sounds so cool. What's
Shut up,
it
you.
about?
We're building a LARP.
Oh, that actually does seem cool.
Actually gonna be pretty cool. So
We have converted the unfaithful.
We're converting the unfaithful, yes.
it went
It's
from
all my fault I don't have time to watch the streams back.
Make time, I do it all the time. So yes, next Tuesday we were going to get a bunch of us together and we're going to make a fictional LARP. I was going to call it a fantasy LARP.
For
because-
now.
For now, yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna
Fantasy LARP.
10 days later.
Yeah, 10 days later. So the other thing I've also put into is that we've also decided to set up our battle camera in case we decide to get into a combat.
Before you go on, just to go back to that designing a LARP thing, we're designing it with input from the viewers.
Yes,
is the important
I did
part.
didn't
yeah.
get to
So
that.
the more viewers, the better, because then we can actually.
So we'll be
make something
taking
to
your
be exciting.
ideas, putting them into the game, explaining the good, the bad, the how they sort of fit in, and bits and pieces, and then going with it and making some sort of monstrously beautiful creation.
Or horrendously
Or
awful.
horrendous.
As
Or-
I said, monstrously beautiful
or
creation.
not actually get through any of it in 2 hours because it takes a long time to put a LARP together.
Nah, it doesn't. We'll get it.
Frankenstein.
Yeah, we'll go.
It'll be Frankenstein.
Play a character, fluffy unicorn.
The
If
week
in doubt, all combat is rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah.
It'd be a pile of art, most likely.
I've
Roll
been
the
to
dice.
I've been to a sort of semi-LARPy sort of role-playing thing where it's basically rock, paper, scissors. That was a long time ago.
Like the Camarilla?
No, it wasn't the Camarilla, it was like Conquest.
That was their battle system.
As long as
Yeah, because it was more of a
pull
role-playing
down
sort of thing,
dynamite
as if
spot.
you really needed to actually get something, there was just like too much confliction happening because the both were right, it came down to, rock, paper, scissors, and then go from there for the role-playing.
Because it's about furthering the story.
Yeah, it's about furthering the story.
That's
so like,
interesting.
yeah, it's very simple, because it's not a combat system per se, it was more of a, these two things are happening,
Political.
and both of them,
It's a
it's not
resolution.
political, there's a whole lot of different, we did a
Conflict
resolution. Conflict resolution, that's a better way of putting it. Yeah, so it wasn't a political one, but there was a lot of politics in it, per se. But yeah, it was a very interesting way of putting things. Anyway, I'm getting beyond the point for what we're trying to do here, because the week after I will be having a small little talk about my going to Italy and talking about playing in a LARP where... playing in a LARP where I went to 2 LARPs in Italy over the last year and a half. The first one I went to, which was Icarus, which is basically based off the TV series The Expanse. And so we got locked into a underground mine for a weekend to represent that we're on an asteroid base, sorry, which was absolutely fantastic. And then, following year, I decided to go to a Fallout bunker LARP in Italy. We literally got locked into a bunker, an old military bunker from the 1950s. In fact, it was even before that, outside of Rome. And we played Fallout, essentially. Well, a Fallout-esque
So
type
what
game.
you're telling me is you like being locked underground.
I'm a mole man.
Don't unlock that lock chest.
Yeah.
I mean, look, this makes a lot of sense.
It does, doesn't it? And also, I think Rory is going to probably be turning up halfway tonight, or he might decide to get home and go screw it and not come up at all.
Jeez, Rory.
Wow.
Son of Rail's gone fetish unlocked.
If you have any comments that you want
So
put through to Rory,
is that
put
really-
them in the chat. We'll write them down and hurl them at him when he comes in.
Literally hurl them at him.
That's
Yeah,
the
I'll
plan.
write them
Fetish
down and
locked,
throw 'em
yes.
at him.
Fetish locked, hard to be put in dungeons.
Oh dear Tim.
As I said, we love your subscriptions, we love your bit cheers, everything helps us get these things going. We love
You might want to put a slight pause between
bit cheers.
We love you, bitches.
Bitch ears.
We're talking about elves.
I am curious though
That's
because
knife ears, man.
you know you've had two LARPs underground, and then you said you also want to go to this one in the desert.
Oh yeah. I definitely want to promote that one. The same company, which is Chaos Incorporated, who did the Italian LARP to go into the Fallout shelter, are running another one next year in January. They're basically running a Cthulhu-esque Sahara trek. So they're going through Tunisia to do it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It's going to be absolutely phenomenal.
Are they the same ones who are doing the Game of Thrones Beyond the Wall?
No, the Game of Thrones is the Northern Italy group, which was
Okay.
the other group.
Yeah.
So
They've got
yes,
some
there's
cool
two of
names
them.
as
There's
well.
two Italian groups, both of them, and they're both doing phenomenal work.
See, this is what happens when other countries have wars and stuff. They get phenomenal pieces of terrain to
Oh,
work
we
with.
just got another sub, Kataria. Thank you very much.
Thank y'all.
Kataria.
Kataria, oh wow.
Also, other countries which can get government grants to
Yes.
run stuff.
These guys actually don't get government grants, though, the Italian mobs. They just have run a really successful bunch of stuff.
I
It's
mean,
like, there's
you've
also
got castles and colosseums and everything.
Yeah, well,
so
like,
it's
there's
all
another-
over the place.
There's another group in Spain that I know of that are also running a Westworld LARP. Yeah.
I mean, I want to see the
That
Battlestar
would
one
be
come
cool.
back again.
Westworld LARP.
That Battlestar LARP
that'd be
was-
fascinating.
Clever.
Point of order first.
Yeah,
Sorry?
well, I know one of the people who ran it. And
Yes, we will
What
get
kind of
we'll
life
get
could we
to
run
that.
here? We could run an
if
invasion
you can get a decommissioned battleship here in Melbourne,
Yeah.
let's talk.
It's
So-
all, yeah.
Yeah, like seriously, they got a decommissioned battleship,
Yes,
turned
to
it
play
into a
Battlestar
Battlestar.
How many
Galactica, yeah.
That was
subscribers are we
insane.
Sorry?
Subscribers.
What was it, locked in for a month or something?
6 now.
No, they had it for 72 hours.
We'll do a raffle between
They had
six.
hired it for
that,
72 hours and they ran the game 3 times, each time 20 hours.
Yeah, the
Very
groups,
quick turnaround.
The groups who are doing the LARPs do 2 of them. So they do them 1 week apart, essentially, and they do an international one, which is specifically English speaking. And then they do the Italian one, which is for the Italians, of course.
Very cool.
Most of the
It's
big
very, very
international
cool.
European ones.
Alright, into the
I was
next
wondering about that.
on to the next
Point of order.
Thank you all for subscriptions, because it means something. Because once we decided, I think inadvertently we just decided that once we get to 10 subscriptions, and we're going to basically start having, let's call it a just a mini competition. We decided to go against what we were originally going to plan. We're just basically going to say, if you're coming to the channel and watching us, we're going to do this little competition at the break time, like they do on other streams that we can't mention.
No free
And
shout-outs.
we're gonna give away, because we've been playing around with a lot of 3D printing and whatnot, so we're gonna give away 3D printed models.
So the first 3D printed models, hi guys, I'm the one 3D printing them. Quality is not perfect at the moment, but they're still pretty good. They're functional. I'm currently printing lots of rats. So the first
Dirty rat.
Oh, so they're ants?
Yeah, the rat ants.
The first
Oh, can you make a Hydra that wherever you poke it, a head falls off?
yes, I probably can. I probably can.
Oh,
But the first prize per se will be a Little Beasties pack. So we will have little beasties. I'm thinking probably 10 to 15, depending on how good I can get the quality of the 3D prints of various little models of little beasties. So for the first 10 subscribers, one of them will walk away with a pack of 10 to 15 D&D models. They'll just be 28mm standard size, and they will be the little beasties pack.
Yeah, they won't be painted though. You have to do it yourself.
Yes, yes, I screen painting things.
Sending
I mean,
it,
I can paint them.
yeah, sending it to the US is not really that much of an issue either.
Yeah, they're very light, so shipping won't be much,
We'll
so
just
we can do
yeet
that.
it.
No, we'll just write your address on there and say return to sender.
I've seen people do it and it works.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Wait, what?
You put return to sender.
Why?
You put the return address because then they just send it back to that address because
You
they,
know,
You
that's
don't need-
technically mail fraud.
oh yeah, it's 100%
Like,
for
that's like,
Yeah.
Which is why we're not going to do it, but we'll make jokes about it.
right, I'm just saying that's a federal crime worth at least like 5 to 10 years in prison.
I'm well aware of that.
Okay,
That's
cool.
why we're not going to do it.
That's why I said I know people who have done it.
Mr.
I haven't,
Thompson,
so.
we are not going to do that.
Alright, is there anything else that we have possibly forgotten?
I
probably.
propose the next competition.
Yep.
The next random one drawn should be able to message you to put in a random NPC of their choosing.
That's not a bad idea.
That's actually really cool, yeah.
Yep.
As long as I can do a voice for it, it's all good.
Along with that,
Even if you can't, you'll have to try.
Yeah.
along with that,
That's
I will
true.
get a new model
In
out.
comes Snubbutt, the goblin militia leader.
Snow
Also,
Oh, no, I would. I'd put it in.
If anyone here wants to have a play around with the websites where you can design 3D models and wants to make up what they think our characters look like,
Hell yeah, I'd be down for that.
I'm happy
I
with
make
love
that
the
and
idea
we'll
of-
print it out and we'll have it on the table.
Oh, thank you for reminding me actually, because we
I
have.
love fan art and stuff like that about characters.
We actually have done a really basic commission of the characters that should be done within a few weeks, hopefully, maybe. It might take a little time, but yeah, we've actually put some money together and should hopefully have some character sketches.
So
soon.
who are we plugging in relation to that?
He doesn't technically have a business.
He literally drew his own character, went, hey guys, this is what I've done, and we've gone, would you take commissions? Well, you're taking commissions now.
So yeah.
He seemed a bit
Sure.
uncertain,
Yeah.
but we basically told him what was what. You're doing this now.
Yeah.
Here's some money.
Yeah, so through some
False
money.
commission!
Through
We'll
some
talk to
money.
him first and see if he actually wants us to plug
It
him
went
on
something
the
along the
thing.
lines of shut up and take our money, is what you're doing.
Yeah, pretty much.
I like the term compulsive commission.
Yeah, compulsive commission.
So his
Everyone
name
has
is
a price
Charyonne. So if he ever does watch this, a good shout out to him because his artwork is actually really good.
He's
work.
everything.
He's
incredible.
work.
Holy
Like
Now,
his
he's-
costume
he's
design
a-
is amazing.
Yeah, he's a cosplayer and a LARPer as well, and his work is fantastic. And unfortunately,
Yeah.
he doesn't have a page for us to share.
No, that's what I was saying. He doesn't have any.
Yeah,
That's
he
why
literally
it's
just keeps it to himself, which is really
I'm not
sad.
even sure who this is.
All right.
Yeah,
Change
we might
it.
have to hustle him and see
Yeah,
if we can get
we'll
him.
make him make a page.
Oh, okay.
We'll force him into the industry. Damn it.
You're going to make money,
All
damn
right,
it!
guys.
Sorry, we're big
Let's
fans,
see, you're all
alright?
talking over each other and no one can hear what you're saying.
He's the fish character.
Yeah, I know,
he's the
yeah.
angel, he's the...
I just didn't know. you were
Now, I
drawing
was
it.
also going to give a shout out to someone else, but I'm not going to do it this week. I'm going to do it next week because she is coming along to my place on Thursday to discuss some other D&D stuff, and she's going to be giving us all some little dice trays
Oh,
from an Etsy store. So
That's nice of her.
we'll organise that properly and put the link in the actual thing.
what a sweetie.
Yeah, so she's going to bring that along, and yeah, so I'll get those Thursday, and then we can display them all on the following session. And then we should do a shout out and put a link in the thingos for it for a little Etsy store. She does a few different bits and pieces here and there, so yeah, it'd be really cool.
First ever fan gift.
She's actually really annoyed. She can't actually watch it because she works on Sunday evenings.
Oh.
You know, so.
You can watch it after.
Well, I was gonna say that's why we put it on YouTube as well.
Well, yeah.
Make sure it's
Yes, this does get streamed to YouTube straight away, which is interesting because it probably shouldn't be, but we'll go into that later.
Yeah,
Worse.
maybe we should look at separating that out and uploading them.
Yeah, we'll
separately.
talk about that.
It's
yeah,
an
stuff
off-stream
later.
chat we vote. It's more people and time issue rather than.
It's the YouTube channel is easier for storing because Twitch only stores the videos for a certain amount of time.
About 2 weeks,
Mm.
14 or 17 days or something.
Right. I think we've spoken about enough stuff, and we should.
Yes, let's get the goddamn game
Let's
down.
Right,
Go
get in the
down.
game,
everyone.
Get your head in the game.
You do leave.
And everyone, let's play Sunday nights.
Awesome.
Yeah, we don't have anything cool to put in there.
It
So
just seemed like the
That's gonna
Who Wants
wet
to Be a
people,
Millionaire sound effects where it all goes dark and.
Nick has the invisibility piece of paper.
I want invisibility paper.
I
That's
just
much
want
better,
invisibility
actually.
cloak
I was
when I
gonna say like
stealth.
this for the rest of the night.
That's all I need. I'm gonna play D&D without.
I am
players.
so bringing my green shirt to my.
No, for Halloween,
Yeah.
green morph suits.
Yeah.
with
Yeah,
skull painted on.
Oh, that actually would be really good.
Anyway,
Yes,
let's
we
do
get
it.
distracted.
Let's do it.
Because, you know, we're typical D&D players. We get
Ah,
distracted.
kill it!
So speaking about something else.
Shut up.
Oh yes, that great shit that you took for the entire of last session.
Yeah, you take a BS. John.
Jesus Christ, guys, come on! Thank you. Sorry.
Oh, and I'm done. What I miss,
This
guys?
is what I have to put up with every week.
I rode a horse.
Road as in a street?
Yes.
He just shot a horse.
I don't know what you're talking about, but in my notes I did write I rode a horse like a rode on the street.
Alright, come on.
Alright. You guys have come to the lands of Musalon. Lands originally known as lands of the Bretons, but the Musalon have taken over. You have come here following up a lead leading towards finding a death cult. You landed in Summerport and had a look around and see what you could find. In doing so, you managed to find a small resistance for the Bretons. You've helped them out a little bit with a bit of a scratch your back, scratch mine, to try and see if they can find something else about the death cult for you on your behalf. You cleared out some sewers. You had a shit time doing that.
It was a shit fight.
Shit fight. And after a while, when you've talked to a few of the people in town, you learned some of your trade, applied some of your abilities, and moved forward in creating some of your own works for your own personal gains. After that time has ended, you got some information about where the Xenophelt is possibly be, and that is potentially in the Black City somewhere. So after that month had disappeared, putting together your own armor or your own weapons or doing some alchemy, your cart, the start of your candy pillar, or caterpillar, depending on which side of the fence you're on,
Which side of the table?
has been built for the very first part of it. And you have all put yourselves together in that to basically send yourselves off the land to travel across the countryside. In doing so, you also caught up with a bunch of other caravans also traveling out at the same time, and you decided to join with them. Put a little contract together to get some extra cash as you're doing it as guards, and you have traveled with them through the farmlands northwest of Summerport. Not too long after going through the farmlands, being intercepted by cows and having troubles trying to remove them from the road, you went through the forest where you encountered a fake plant, for lack of a better word of putting it. And the fake plant was very interesting to all of those involved, especially the druid was enamored. Then you moved on. You decided to continue on because the plant had disappeared. And you arrived in the village. In the village where Amber decided to try and learn to ride a horse and surprise everyone and succeed.
Upon rolling
Including herself.
deep
Including yourself.
insistence.
And then gather yourselves together, go to the tavern, have a drink, and have a chat with whoever you can have a chat with.
But he also decided that after me manhandling him a little bit as a cat and a hamster, he was sick of teaching me personally. So he was like, I'll shuffle the teaching onto another animal.
And that is where you are. It is the evening when you last left off. You were all basically set yourselves down at the tavern in various particular locations. You had your own little personal space with the halfling room, is what they call it, or the short man room.
Everything's half.
Rowan, Imperius, and I were still in the caravan.
Yes, you guys
having
were in
our
the caravan.
chat about religion and stuff.
Albeit reluctantly.
And you come out from the bushes after you're hanging your big shit.
It is your bag of holding back.
I wouldn't notice you steal it.
Yeah.
Hang between his bosom, you see.
Not making that joke. Did I miss anything?
Well, depends where you are.
Depends, who are you talking to? Where
So
are you?
me and the Dragon
At
Book.
camp.
Me and the Dragon Book are in
Only
the tavern.
At the caravan is us three.
Imperious,
Rowan,
Rowan, and Amber.
who's probably wandered off to the ferries now. Rowan.
We'll say he's wandered off into the forest to make friends with the gardens.
No. Commune with nature.
Commune with nature.
Take a shit.
No, that's a Mia's thing.
He's
No,
He's
Rowan's
turning
thing is
into a
to go
squirrel.
off and fight his shit so he can turn it into fertilizer.
Look, Amber's not much better. She was collecting the manure.
To turn into smoke bombs
Yeah, pretty
that
much.
she never uses.
Alright.
I do.
This is-
She's
this is
very
the-
good at
This
diffusing
is the shittiest
conflict.
DD you'll ever see.
Oh, it's a shit fest.
Yeah.
Who
I'm
comes up with
actually
these shit jokes?
Do you know
gonna.
if there's any entertainment in this town?
But we haven't actually gone into the town yet. I've been studying the stars again.
Are
I mean,
they
I was-
still there?
I'm busy.
Well, except for one,
Trolls.
possibly. That's what I'm trying to work out.
A star might be missing.
What?
It's a long story, it's all technological, you wouldn't understand.
Was this the star that you thought might have fallen from the sky?
Yes.
You think it has fallen or it has not fallen?
I'm pretty certain it has fallen.
Do you know which one it was?
Not yet, that's what I'm working out. There are a lot of them. Quite a lot of them.
But it is none of the major ones.
I don't have all my equipment here, so I can't really study all of it.
Aren't you the entertainer? You're really pretty good with your performances.
I can be the entertainment, yes. Wait, do I have disguise self? Yes, I do. Yes, I can be the entertainment.
Look at me, I'm a woman!
So I'm gonna leave the tavern and nod to my dragonborn friend and just walk out. I'm gonna start heading off in the direction of the forest myself.
Okay, you head off into the forest.
And I'm gonna sit down just on the edge sort of the forest and start meditating. Just
The thick forest that you originally came from is still a fair travel away, so it's got another day travel to get back to the thick forest.
okay.
So we're talking more about, thinned out sort of clumps of trees here and there.
Right.
Like
Somewhere
time.
where it's a little bit quiet.
Yeah, absolutely. You can definitely find many spots like that.
Cool. And I'm gonna continue working on the leather robe that
Yep.
I've got, but having realised that it's not gonna make a decent Kurasagana, I'm instead going to try and turn it into an arm sheath for the obsidian dagger that I've got.
Okay. You find as you wander off, because you forget Chen is with you.
Oh, he was there.
Yes.
Oh.
Like he might have probably just sat sort of in the background because he's like that. He likes to just sort of sit and watch and see what you do. He's a
Gutter
bit-
mines,
bit
everybody.
creepy. Bit creepy, yeah.
I'd bring this game back up to the gutter level, but we'd all get the bends.
Thank you, King Lever.
So he's following me then.
Kind of, yeah. Like you know he's there. He's not hiding it. He's just. You've started getting used to the fact that he'll just whatever you're doing, he's stepping in behind you.
King Cleaver or King Cleaver?
And if he feels like that, he thinks that you think you need time to yourself, he'll sit off. But you know he's there in somewhere if you need him or you decide you want to do some more training. You find that your relationship with him is quite intensely about the training,
Yep.
and him always checking you out and making sure you're doing things right in a certain way. You're not quite sure what that way is yet. But yeah.
Alright. So I'll just move to actually probably the closest sort of clumps of trees to the caravan and meditate near the caravan.
Yep. That's not a problem. In that case, then.
You sure you don't want to meditate on the roof this time?
It's a
Again?
nice spot.
Chen basically goes to the camp itself because it's not too far away from me.
Yeah.
Alright, you two are still in the tavern having your drinks and stuff like that.
I-
Ray's left. And
I continue
Yeah.
drinking.
you continue drinking.
Yeah,
I
the,
continue drinking.
the caravan's been very boring.
It has. It
I'm
has.
just like, alcohol? Okay, I'm good. I'm good for now.
Barkeep.
I'm gonna
Ah.
encourage.
My friend, how can I help you?
What does one do for entertainment around here?
Most of the time we drink.
Okay.
Every once in a while, we see if we're lucky, we get a bit of a bard come in every once in a while and play a lute or a lyre or whatever it is they play.
Yes, most bards are liars. This is true.
That is true. Yeah, many of them skip town too before they pay. Yes, but we make sure they pay before they do anything else. But no, not tonight. We have not had anyone for quite some time.
There's one traveling with us who considers himself to be a bit of a bard.
Oh, really?
So we're to say, hey.
Fiddly. Fiddly. Who is it?
Did you just say fiddly? Who is it?
Yes.
The bard's name is D Potatoes. He's followed around by a minotaur with a cowbell.
Soon. Look, he's got this lofty kind of name, calls himself Imperious.
The scourge of Aaron.
The scourge of the kitchen.
Well, what would it take to get him to come along?
Maybe some groveling.
We should
On
change
my
your
part.
nickname to the Scourge of Breton. That way you'll fit right in.
Oh, I'm gonna die. When I get back to our caravan, I shall ask you.
That would be very good.
Is the oven still on?
No, I turned it off.
Just checking that we're not going to burn the kitchen down.
No fires in
It's getting really toasty in here.
This wall, it's very warm.
Suddenly the whole place is just on fire. Everything's fine. Everything's fine here.
This is fine.
This is fine.
See? That's just a green wall effect. Yeah.
We might have to
What do you
pause
mean?
the stream.
Southern Ouroboros? Look like your kitchen?
Can I see it?
Nope. Yeah, that'll be a very good. Can you get him? Come on.
I shall try my best.
Excellent. Would you like a drink in the meantime?
I would like another drink.
He scampers off. Scampers.
On all fours.
On all fours. He comes back not too soon with another ale for you.
Is it
Merci,
a
my
half
friend.
stein?
Yeah.
Merci, mon ami.
Messi? I'm not Messi.
Merci, it means
Merci. Merci.
thank you.
Merci beaucoup.
Merci beaucoup.
You were lucky you were not here.
That's the Southern Moldavian accent.
Uh-huh.
The Venetals.
Sure.
Alright. You're just drinking along in the
actually a
tavern.
thing.
Yeah, I'm just surveying the townspeople and the guards that are.
All watching you.
I'm probably getting a few strange looks from especially the townspeople.
Yeah, they're kind of used to you now. Like, you would have got a lot of your strange looks on the very first parts of the journey, first few days. It's been a week now, so you've started to become part of the furniture, realistically.
I'm talking more about the townspeople now.
Yes. Definitely every once in a while the townspeople are watching you. Both the halfling who comes by, who pops out to the back somewhere, always has an eye on you when he comes by. Just sort of very timidly goes, "Would you like a drink, sir?"
I just sort of like nod and then like hold out a few coppers.
Jido ve caca? I have no idea how to pronounce
I don't
that.
speak that much French.
Neither do I.
Something
Chez toi?
poop.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm not speaking properly. Or at least it is in lots of languages.
Caca.
Copy,
Yes, cacao.
paste, Google Translate.
Yeah, that's it. Copy paste Google Translate. I like it.
That's probably how they got the
Yeah,
translation.
probably.
Maybe.
I'm gonna do that now.
Je ne sais
I
pas.
hope it says you've got a shitty accent, because that'd be.
Or they were talking about my French accent is very nice.
It is
Je
outrageous.
dois faire
Outrageous?
I think je is I, so I something.
Je dois faire
Chez toi? Chez toi?
I have to poop.
That's not me, that's you.
No, I think that's what it is.
No, all clean now. Clean as a whistle.
Roll for performance.
And 10 kilos
spent
later.
3 days taking a dump. I'm clean as a whistle.
And 10 kilos later.
That's true.
What do you
It's
get
like
this whistle?
it's like
You're
bread trail
squeezing it, I
now.
sound like bagpipes.
It's like a bread trail now, so you know how to get back to the forest.
Just hung him out the back of the car.
Mildly disturbing.
Mildly.
I'm providing 0.01% of the forward thrust.
And because people try to get away.
With sound effects.
And right at the end it goes,
Stop with the pop joke. It's getting old.
How long do you
Never.
suppose?
when she
that
stops
we've-
reacting to it.
How long do you suppose it's been we've been drinking and cavorting in the taverns?
The time is definitely passing on. It's getting late now.
It's starting to push on into the evening.
I would be heading into the.
Into the tavern.
I'm going to assume that Imperious Amber and maybe Rowan, I don't know, maybe he wandered off. But at least
Rowan,
Imperious Amber will be like sitting
You look a
and
little
chatting
bit bored.
in the caravan.
I've been stuck in that caravan for
Are you
the
looking
last-
for excitement?
Depends on what kind of excitement you're talking about.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Oh god.
1 gold piece to anyone who can beat that dragon thing in unarmed combat.
I'm pretty sure that's the look he's giving you.
You're not bored now, are you?
I'm going to kill you later, just so you know.
Alright, I think I can do it.
I say good piece
I
on the
haven't fought a
dragon.
dragonborn before. We should be entertained.
Ah, good friend,
How
what is
tall is this guy?
7'3".
It's a lumberjack.
5'2".
Oh, you do? They just stand
that's
up.
not his height, that's his width.
Yes.
I stand up, like removing all my weapons. I've got a few of them: great sword, long sword, short sword, shield, my hand axes, my dagger. I sort of like put them on the seat. Stretch out.
What is your stage name? I believe you are leaving your old one behind. Would you like me to make up something for you?
No. Stage name, hey?
And here we
No.
have
I'm going to tell you what, I've got a stage
the
name for
Great
you.
Montgomery,
I'm going to kill you.
feared in the 9 deserts and the 12 forests.
I like. Let's make
And
this
the
fair,
6
and I start
oceans,
undoing
3
all of my
mountains.
armor.
Yep.
And quickly undo it. It takes me about a minute to undo it.
A man of such prowess, his halitosis can kill a giant rat.
I
Yeah,
agree.
we can't use
It would
the
be too
old
easy.
Ignatius D stories like he slapped an elf out of a horse.
I mean, we can.
We can, but then like, who is this nation's
Because then we'll just spread the legend of Ignatius D all across the land.
Yeah, just don't spread the legend of.
Just
Oh,
don't
who?
spread Ignatius D all across the land.
Maybe if he hangs at the back
I
of the
mean,
cart,
like
we
if he
can.
turns to ash, maybe.
The Great Montgomery is also known for the only person to successfully have besieged a tavern.
Besieged a
Siege
tavern.
the tavern. Are you doing what now?
Kept a picket up there for 3 weeks until they were forced to come out of hiding. I'm just making shit up.
You know what? I think I got the music for this particular fight.
Oh, God.
It'll be entertaining. I have no idea how this is going to go. It's going to be
Yak and
hilarious.
sax.
Oh, that'd be good.
Flight of the Bumblebee.
No, not
Nope.
so far.
Also, Rory's on his way.
Must have got it early.
Take your orange bike.
He's just gone for 2 months in a row.
Oh, wow. Thanks, Orange.
especially say superhero music. It actually seems fitting, doesn't it?
If a long looks into the distance.
Yeah.
It's just him. Suddenly a cape.
I will admit, I did find myself at home the other day making that pose, and I was like, "Oh God, it's bled over."
You said
Alright,
to the car.
so let's do this.
I go over to the guy, make sure he's. Are you ready for a fight? There should be no one should get seriously hurt. A good fight. Yes, good. Then I go over to you and go. You willing to take a dive?
Wow.
Oh, that's fine. I think that's
In my
enough.
20 years, I've never had someone try to take a dive in a fight. Never.
What? Should I just run off for the winnings instead?
You could try.
So I just sort of like walk in, sort of like limber up, and just sort of like get down in a fighting stance that I would have been taught while growing up.
Yep.
So fighting like a dragon.
I was gonna say because you look like an iguana then.
So a lot of the
Basically.
a lot of the soldiers basically clear away the tables away from the stage because there is a stage in this particular place, just to sort of make sure they've got a bit of distance between you guys because the stage isn't big, and for
Are
you
we
guys to
inside
basically
or outside?
Inside.
Okay, I would have probably got this outside to knock this break. Because that'll cost more than the cost of
All right, people start pouring outside.
Who's taking bets?
No, now we might actually see it.
Yeah, so soldiers and the patrons and villagers and stuff like that, they all start piling out of the tavern. And since people are starting to pile outside of the actual tavern itself at the front door, there is local people as well who are still doing their late evening things, just like, what's going on here? And then started coming over, and that typical fight circle has started to form.
So, was it 2 gold on a human not lasting 2 minutes?
Depends on how strong the human is.
Tell me when it gets loud.
Well, he's 5 foot wide.
Do we notice?
Yeah.
We're at the caravan, so can we see it?
Oh
from the
yeah,
caravan?
this is a small village. It's not
Yeah,
a
very
big town.
It's like 100 people.
There is bustle or there's a
crowd.
crowd.
There's a bustle in the crowd, like the tavern.
involves-
And you know the rest of the party has something
And
to
I
do.
I was
probably
gonna say,
stand
it
full head
definitely
above
involves
anyone
them we
me.
should wander over.
I mean, like, Amber would seem like, woo, a fight! Ah! And like, headlong run of.
I was gonna say, you're just gonna hear.
It's tempting, but.
We need to
She's
give you
had
bombs
rather-
for hands.
Huh?
What, cut the head off and have it like Serious Sam?
Yeah.
Oh, bombs for hands.
Yeah, no bombs. No. Oh, no balls either.
No, I heard Bob, as in B-O-B. So I was
Oh.
like, where is Bob? Why is his hands on
Just
my
some
head?
guy screaming.
Come on, guys, relevance.
Sorry.
My name is Robert.
So, do you want me to roll for initiative for this to see who?
Yes, let's
moves
roll for
first?
initiative to see who goes first.
That's a 9.
He's like, all right, let's do this. Comes in with a swing, straight jab to the face.
Are you wearing your armor?
No, I took it off.
Oh, okay.
Make this
He's not gonna-
fair.
He's not going to fight you with the armor on. You're basically telling him to take it off.
I'm a dragonborn. It's all about honor.
Yeah, I know. Just
He comes in for a swing, and you duck out of the way.
I basically go
Come
and
on. Alpha strike. Action surge 2 attacks. 4 attacks in 1 round.
I'm basically just gonna start wailing on him.
Yep.
So,
And finish
coming
him
in
off.
from the left, I miss completely probably. Actually,
You're probably going to maybe 12.
it's 13.
13. Yeah, that'll miss.
Did I miss? He has some armor on.
No.
Just high dexterity.
He's just actually because he's small. You've realised that he's just a wiry little guy.
I thought he was 5 foot wide.
Two.
No, that's them saying he's 5
No, he's 5'2" wide when he's lying down.
Yes.
That's 15.
That'll hit.
That'll hit. What's 6?
D4 plus your strength.
Or is it
No,
You
it's
have
one
no,
plus
it's
strength.
1 plus your strength.
1 plus strength? So
Yes, unless you've got the
6
feet
points.
to give you D4. Or
It's
you're
a
a
monk
monk.
thing. It's
Yeah.
a monk thing.
Monks get the D1, D4. I don't. So it's
You do get a D1.
I do get a D1. 1, 6.
6 points of damage. He
6
goes,
points.
ooh, as he feels the blow come in.
Action surge, like sort of roaring as I go.
As you hit him,
point out something. Your damage from a punch is 6. My damage from a punch is -1.
I was going to say, so is mine.
Heal! Heal!
I'll just punch you back up to health.
So as I punch him,
As you punched him, he's basically just reeled back from the punch that you've given him, and from out of nowhere, you were surprised by this. He's basically just like ducked underneath that blow. As soon as it's hit him, he's gone back and then come straight back in underneath, and hooked right into your gut.
You can use your combat maneuvers as well. You can parry.
Doing 12 points of damage.
12 points.
He's a monk.
I'm going to remember what my maneuvers do.
I assume at that we've all heard a roar from the crowd. All right.
Best one gold I ever spent.
Yeah, I'm immediately gonna go. Oh shit! Hearing like roaring crowd, fight sounds. I'm gonna get up and start walking over and say, as I'm passing the caravan, is Shen still there?
You coming towards us?
I'm already over there.
Okay, as he punches me, I sort of like flick his, like,
we love you so.
parry it, so I like wave his hand and hopefully it's just a glancing blow. I take off 4 damage, so...
Yep. Yeah, you do reduce the damage a little bit as you...
And then I've also... I'm not wearing my heavy armor, so...
Yes, you can't take the extra damage off, yes.
So...
You've got a few hit points.
8 points. Okay.
I'm doing this kind of more blow for blow, so he's enough of this guy who's just stood up is a few levels in him, so he hasn't got his second attack yet.
Okay.
Okay? And that attack that you did, you know this. You've done this yourself. And he's basically just done a reaction shot against you.
Yeah.
And then once he's done that reaction shot, you've done your deflection a little bit to reduce the damage a little bit. He comes in with a left jab into your back.
So does that mean that
So I
your
don't
doesn't
get a
get any
second attack.
advantage for having second attacks?
Relax. Relax. Comes in with he's doing his second attack. Once he's done his second attack, then you do your second attack. And then you do your
Okay.
following attacks. So sound
Let
right?
me know when Amber gets
Okay.
there. She doesn't realize it's a
One-on-one.
stage fight.
I roll a 14.
Yeah, that parrying that as well. I'm gonna try anyway. That's a bit better. So that's 8.
Okay, this was only 5 damage. That one was only 5 damage.
Okay. So I take nothing.
You took 9
So basically, as he hits me, I just sort of
it's
like...
coming to your back to try and get you in the back. You have felt it hit your back, but you've rolled with it, so it's basically deflected off and not done anywhere near as much damage as it could have.
Okay.
He's-
So as I roll forward, I like
Hit
land
him, Montgomery!
and, like on all 4s.
Yep.
And I charge at him like trying to like clothesline his mid.
Okay, so
mid
this is your second attack for the round.
It doesn't need a new name, just use the
19 plus 8.
It's not going to stop that. Oh, Jesus. You come in and basically just charge him up.
And then next denamed and spread
Roll
across the
damage.
lake.
Or tell me your damage, right? 6, isn't it?
6.
Ignatius.
Yeah,
So
Please,
you've done
best
2
name.
6s, so you've done 12 so far.
I'm
And
using wrong
he's-
asset.
Also, because this way,
Are
if he
you
loses
going
the
to
fight, he
action
doesn't
surge?
get into
I'm
the
Are you
reputation
going
of
to
Ignatius
action
thing.
surge?
No, I want to put on a bit of a show for people. I want this to last a bit longer.
Alright, so a new round, we'll do the exact same thing again.
if he
He got initiative, so
loses,
he'll do his
he'll go
first
forward.
of 2 attacks first.
Yep.
So
Just
coming you.
press the
Well, I haven't been
buttons.
running a book, so...
Because
you don't run a book on a random thing, you run a book on a short bet.
14 again, so that'll hit you, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Except this time it's only 5 damage.
I'll take that to the chin.
Here, he comes in. Since you did your attack on him and whatnot, he's basically come back and step back a few steps and then come in again and try to get over the top of your head and smack you in the head a little bit. But just glanced you off the side more than actually directly like
Yeah.
he did before.
Um,
Your first of your 2 attacks.
So I'm like underneath him.
Yep.
So I basically going to come up and try and get him right in the chin.
Go for it.
I've got a question for you.
15.
Can I try to get the crowd chanting out his name?
Yep.
To give, essentially as a help action, to give him advantage on 1 attack roll.
First, do a persuasion check for the crowd.
Yep.
What do you persuade
Let
him?
me know when Amber gets there.
Who's fighting?
You hit, didn't you?
Yeah, so 6 damage.
6 damage.
16 persuasion.
16 persuasion against the crowd. And the crowd, you start getting the crowd going. Like, we'll take a round. I'm gonna take a round. You're getting him
Perfectly fine.
He's like, ooh, he's just like copped another hit to you.
Right to the chin.
Monty, 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 Monty. Oh no, because this is like we'll call you Monty Python. That wasn't deliberate.
You come in underneath him anyway, all the distractions. You come in underneath him and you score him in the bottom of the chin, and he reels back a little bit, and he gets his feet, comes back at you again. You see a blow come across the top again, try and hit you on the top of the head. He's still on your all fours, and you see it and you dodge out of the way. But what that really was just a feint, as another one comes in against your head that you were trying to get away from, and I rolled another 8 again, so that becomes 13 points of damage.
Jesus Christ.
So basically you're successfully blocking all the punches with your face. You're just not wearing a helmet this time.
You never want a helmet.
And there is your problem.
What about the chat cheering for the bunk? Yes. And now it is your second attack for the round.
So,
Monty.
as he gets me, I'll like come around and then try and swing my leg at his kneecap to try and get his knee and trip him up as well.
So you're going to try attempt to trip?
Yeah.
Go for it.
19.
You attempt to trip him up, and you grab his leg, and you pull with all of your strength that you could possibly do, and he definitely feels your strength behind that as his leg flips up and he loses balance. But he's got some sort of combat within him because of his short stature, and he basically just actually rolls with it. So he rolls onto his back, but then uses that momentum and comes back onto his feet again, like only 5 feet away from you, and then comes back into the fight again. And then comes back at you.
You might lose your goat.
This is the start of a new
You might
round
lose
again.
your goat.
Becoming a 13? Yeah, 13 for the year.
I would assume me and
It's
So-
better music than I'd pay for a bar.
Normally
It's better
just,
than paying a bar.
Plus your dex, yeah?
Yeah, plus your dex, yes.
Okay, he hits.
Okay, he hits. Now, it's just the normal, so it's 5 damage.
Okay.
So I think me and Amber probably hit the same now, didn't we?
So you got a couple of rounds in.
No, it's going over as well.
Okay, so he's done his counter attack again, so he did the 5 damage, so now it's
Yep.
your attack.
So I'm gonna basically. So he's like 5 feet away, yeah?
Yeah. Oh, he's coming now. He's already come back in, so he's right next to you again.
Oh, okay. I'm basically just gonna start swinging.
Yep.
Give him a left hook. 16 plus 8.
Yeah, that definitely hits.
Another 6 damage.
He feels the hook as his jaw and whole face gonna go, and that spittle,
He's
the
done
tiny
the
bit of
Rocky.
blood comes out. And he's done the Rocky, yeah. And he feels it, and he comes in, and it was another 6 points. Is that
Yep.
correct? So he's, yep, okay. Adrian, and he comes back in, having another comes in having a shot at you. That shot to the jaw you just did to him, it puts him off balance as his left swing comes more of a haymaker, and you just glide underneath it. Basically, your turn again.
I'll go for the 1, 2.
Go for the 1, 2.
knockout.
Yep, yep.
It also looks great because hands are randomly appearing on other screens.
That's a 14.
Karate chop.
That hits you. So it's another 6 points. of
Another
damage
6
again.
points of damage.
It's like, ugh. He reacts in response to that one, and also will also have his attack as well as that one. Okay.
Yep.
That's probably the last of these he can do. So that will be more than enough to hit. So I do 10 points of damage this time.
Do I try to deflect it as he goes?
Yeah, do it.
Sure. I use one. I think my second last superiority dice
Yep.
to deflect 5 points of damage. So I take
He's
5.
using superiority dice as well.
Okay.
We're just watching the stream and watching our hands
It
fly.
was just because the delay was just up
Yeah,
the way
yeah,
the
yeah.
hands were.
Wait, that's more delayed than this.
Oh, because it's
Yeah.
just the Wi-Fi, it's not very fast.
So, yeah, I basically deflect part of it. He still glances me in the shoulder or something.
Yeah, so his second attack, because that was his reaction attack, so now he's coming in with his actual attack. Misses, comes in, tries to do another quick jab from the gut and get you into the gut, but you again just step it a little bit and it just deflects off your belly and then goes awry.
Hopefully this works. That step back is literally winding up for uppercut again.
Yep, so as his momentum is pushed off to the side because you deflected the shot, you come in.
14 plus 8. So
Yes, you definitely come
definitely
in.
hit another 6 damage. Just
Yeah,
bang.
bang! You just like cops it and another under the chin again, and you hear that jarring 2 sets of teeth as they crunch together.
Oh.
It luckily didn't bite any particular teeth. You have arrived by now.
So she rolled a 9 on perceiving that it was a organized battle.
Yes.
So she's probably not going to realize. Be like, hey, why are you beating up my friend? And go to attack the other.
The thing is, while you're looking, all you can see is Yolan smiling because he's got something to do. He's not bored anymore.
It's not like this really small circle where you can just rush out and just be part of it. As soon as you get to the edge of the crowd and they realise that you've just gone like in 5 foot, several people grab you before you can even do anything.
Oh
So you need to
god.
turn
Do
on
you
your
want
hero.
to stop? Do you want to wrestle against
What's
him?
going on, Mia?
It is fine. This is fun.
Fun.
Yes.
I want fun.
I
Oh
imagine,
god, that's not the right way to.
It's good. Give it a right winner.
I imagine.
Okay.
I imagine.
Yes.
That
She
means-
settles back down. She's like, alright, you can let go now.
Have I arrived as well?
Yes, you have.
The moment I get there, I immediately just stare at the two of them for a few seconds, and then just tilt my head and look to the other guy and just look him up and down. And I'm actually going to roll an insightful fighting on him.
Yep, go for it.
So 18 plus 6, so 24 against
Yes,
his
easily.
perception.
Wait,
Open that 20.
Tim, put the gold dice away. No, you don't, this goes back years.
This goes back years. I have this, alright, just so everyone knows, yes, we're getting interrupted about this particular hand-to-hand combat. I have this gold D20. It kills PCs left, right, centre by rolling 20s on a regular basis.
So it rolls a 20?
Yes.
Also, the funniest thing about
However, he doesn't really have that much deception.
So I got 24.
Yeah, you still beat him.
Right, cool. So,
so
having
if
a
you
look
need
at
to
him, I'm
kill
going
him,
to
you can
go.
throw a rock at him and he'll probably die.
No,
At this
I'm
point.
going to turn. I'm actually going to turn and just say, Yolan, left leg.
Sweep the leg!
Go for it, just go.
So I do.
Yes.
18 plus 8.
18 plus 8. Alright, he attempts to... Nope. There are other times when this rolls 20 and other times when it doesn't. And he basically just goes... He's about to come in with the overhead swing again because you're always doing that ducking light. It's been your whole maneuver for most of the half of this fight. So he's coming in over the top trying to belt you on, and you basically do a bit of a turn, use your tail even a little bit, to basically sweep him out from under his thing. So he's caught off guard and on his back. He's prone.
So
Have another
now
shot.
action
Punch
surge.
him! Punch his face! I don't want to kill the poor townsman.
Drop him.
Suplex?
Yeah, suplex.
Oh, gosh.
Roll.
Yeah.
Tombstone him.
10 plus 8, so 18.
Yep, you come in and you basically just put your elbow right into him.
All 240 pounds of
Yes.
dragonborn
And
right on top.
he's just like, at the very last moment when he's realised, he's just like going flat on his back and he's like, ugh! Then he sees you coming.
It's the comical bug eyes.
Yeah, the bug eye.
And the tongue like,
And he's like, he's tapping out.
I roll off him, get up and sort of hold
Crowd
my
cheers.
hand out. So I hold my hand out to help him up.
Do you want the best 2 out of 3? Looking at the two of them?
No, I've had enough. After copping 200 odd pounds of fucking dragonborn straight on your belly, I need a break, I need a fucking beer.
so I was
I like go over to my stuff, get my coin purse and like pull out a few coppers and go, on me.
Oh, well, thanks mate. That's beautiful.
Amber's eyes light up and goes, my turn?
What did you sign me up for?
There was someone who wanted to fight the winner. Are you ready?
Can I get a heal first?
Oh yeah. Hang on.
I'll heal him.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay. I was gonna give him some of my brew.
I've still got some of your brew. I'm saving it for a good time.
Oh, did you take
Yeah,
a
here's
dose of healing
the
brew?
fun
Yeah.
fight between two players.
What I was going to say is,
I don't.
I
I
rolled like
lost
36 or something.
36. Yeah.
did you want to do this as a normal fight or have some sort of sort of speed advantage?
No, well,
Hand-to-hand combat.
hand-to-hand combat.
Yep.
No armor.
Not well, I don't wear armor.
Violence.
but-
No raging.
Never mind, I didn't have to. You touched him.
No power in the verse can stop her from being angry.
Yeah, I was gonna say nothing can stop Amber from raging. She can try, but you're gonna try something
As you
like.
guys are discussing amongst yourself, yeah, fight.
Hey,
see,
hey, let's go there.
Trying to tell her not to rage makes her angry.
Fight.
Getting real sleepy.
Before the fight, I need another drink. Where is the barkeep?
Fight. Oh, yeah, get you beer. Yeah, ale, yeah.
Bottle of wine.
Yeah.
Why?
What is her stage name?
This.
Thunder Thighs.
The Hairy Fairy. This, you don't understand. This is the Table of Doom.
That's beautiful. Hang on, everyone who hasn't been watching this particular stream really needs to understand this because Amber being a dwarf, being quite short and stocky, when they went to a tavern that had no tables, she became the table by putting a shield up the top and the rest of the party just hang around her.
I now have a plan. I'm going to make her a table helmet.
Kind of like R2D2
Yeah.
at the start of Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
I'm going to make her a table helmet. Which means you can literally tilt your head forward and you can block arrows, so you know.
But doesn't have shield proficiency.
Yeah.
Fight!
Oh, you do?
Okay.
Fight.
Apparently shield.
I'm fully
They're
healed.
just so huge.
Okay.
Table.
Stand it again.
Table. Oh yeah, if you knock her over, you can flip the table. Thank you, son, for that one.
Table. Flip.
Yeah,
Small
I love
enough
it.
you can flip.
Ladies and gentlemen, we
but
have
heavy.
a spectacular fight in the wings here tonight. Get your drinks and be ready for the Great Montgomery versus the Table of Doom. Can we have some entrance music as they come in?
I will start playing.
Play the hurdy for one and play the gurdy for the other.
Yeah. It's not bad. It is a 17 for performance.
You bring out the hurdy-gurdy and start bringing out some tunes.
Sparks!
Sparks from prestidigitation.
Ooh.
Sparks from proctology.
Prosthetic limbs just fly everywhere. I have prosthetic
Right,
rotation
roll
now as
initiative,
well.
you guys. It's basically you versus each other, so.
Oh God!
I can do like the fire bagpipes.
She's going
So I've got
first.
prestidigitation as well.
This was supposed to be a
My
small
temporary
little
defense is
diversion.
roaring.
Yeah, no.
It's gone, isn't it?
Have you
like the
noticed that
original
every time you have a diversion, it's not as small as you think it is?
Yeah, like the mast. Yeah, just a small little thing up the mast.
Here's a whole episode.
17.
I write these headings for what these episodes are all about, and yeah, you guys just derail it like that.
Yeah. I got a 5, so she's going
And
first.
everyone who's watching this who plays D&D goes, yeah, that sounds like a typical D&D game.
That's how it works.
Amber is super eager. She's like, ha!
Roll.
So she runs at you and aims a punch.
I'm
She is also
basically
raging.
just doing this nice and easy, unless you decide to bring in your action search. Just do blow for blow.
Yeah, but she's raging.
But you both
She
have
doesn't fight
full
without
attacks.
raging. She just doesn't know how.
So I'm probably going to have to bring in my action surge
Probably, yes.
to actually do
to
anything.
counter, yeah.
Okay.
Oh God, she can do radiant damage.
I miss.
You sure? Because you got no armor on. He's got no armor on.
I rolled a 3.
You still might hit
Oh,
It's an 11.
6.
Not quite.
My dex is a +1.
What am I adding? Strength plus proficiency?
Proficiency.
him. Straight proficiency, yes.
So that would be +7, so 10.
6.
Oh, one off.
Missed by 1.
Miss by
Yeah,
one.
10. Yeah. So I was
Wait,
trying to figure out
Does
what
she
I
get
got.
bonuses for radiant? No.
Not to hit.
Not-
It's just
Not to hit,
damage,
no.
yeah, that's right.
Unless you guys
So basically I just spin out of the way.
Spin it out of the way.
And then just try to
Either that or you just like...
suck her in the jaw.
I don't know. Have this as one of your defenses. You just hold her at arm's length.
Yeah, but that is my strength against hers. I think we're both +5.
Oh, you're stronger than her.
I'm plus 4.
Oh.
You're stronger than me.
She just
No, I don't trust my
Just
roll.
Guys, come on, move.
I rolled in that one.
You're on that one.
Oh dear.
You come in thinking you just do a quick jab,
Cool.
and you do punch Amber straight in the chest. Amber looks at it and goes, "What the fuck was that?"
Yeah, the
You-
beard and the boobs and
Yeah, I was
just
gonna
this
say-
thing.
Is your hand now stuck in a
I was going to say,
Yeah.
it's a tangle in the beard.
Giving him ideas. It is, isn't it?
That's what I'm here for.
I'm gonna tear a bead off.
If she wasn't raging before, she would
She's
be.
fucking angry now. You
Wait.
touched the beard.
I was going to say, now she's going to use
Reckless
this
righteous
attack.
fury.
So
You know what?
your arm is now caught in her beard.
I will actually
Rob
roll
was
back.
gonna get pissed
Do
off.
do I get my
Because
second
you
I'm
attack
super
or
angry now.
Sorry?
do I get my second attack?
We're
before
doing once each.
Because you both got
She
two
hasn't had a
attacks.
chance to do 2 attacks either.
Yeah, you both got
I
two
get
attacks.
2 attacks per turn. So
Okay.
we're doing one at a time.
It's more scenarios.
Depending on how much damage she does on the first attack, I might have to action search.
Yeah.
I think you're going to need that.
You're gonna
so
get slaughtered.
She's going to. reckless
I have
attack.
advantage on
But she has more health.
melee. No,
Huh?
I'm only
She has
use
more health
melee
than me.
weapon attacks.
Yeah,
Does
but-
that count as my hands?
So what are you talking about,
Why?
Alice?
Reckless attack.
Just attack and
Yeah.
reckless.
Because this is the second of your first.
Just roll. Just roll.
You have
No,
advantage.
she should do less damage because she got less strength.
Just roll.
Okay. Alright. Okay.
With advantage.
With advantage.
Yes.
Use
with
Okay,
reckless
you allowing me to have it? Okay. The first one was better.
If it's better than 11.
20.
Totally.
It's his harm class. Tell him. Ask him.
He's
It's
got
on
11.
11. So you hit.
You hit.
So you do 5 points of damage.
No, 15. Because she recklessly attacks, so she gets an extra 10 or 12.
No.
No.
Wrong
Don't,
thing,
guys.
wrong
Don't.
thing.
We're not-
Wrong thing. Don't confuse the rules.
That just gave
It's
me
basic
advantage.
attacks.
Okay.
Yes.
That's all reckless attack.
And you have advantage against me next turn.
Oh, that's
Oh,
right.
okay.
Great weapon master.
But you
Not
do-
great weapon master. But on my hit, I do extra damage.
Are you raging?
Yes.
Okay.
Has to be for reckless.
So I am doing 3
5, 6. Your base is 7.
7 plus
7 plus 3 plus your d6.
plus 7, 9. We'll say radiant damage.
Fucking hell.
As of that,
Because it's got Amber Iron Fist up on the thing at the moment, so she's a zealot, by the way.
Yeah, I'm
So,
zealous.
I try and parry some of that. And
You
get
touched
5 taken
the
off.
fucking beard. Your fist's in there, and she's like, straight up.
as I'm walking past Amir, I nudge him and go, "Thanks for this. I wanted a rematch," and I step in as well. I'm actually going to walk in.
Please wait your turn.
Why? Make it a 3-way.
You have to ask Amber's permission for a 3-way.
Not another fighter.
One at a time, please. One at a time.
Yeah, don't.
I don't think she's cognitive enough to
I was gonna say,
understand you right
she's
now.
currently like pulling the Dragon Ball around by
You
the
know, the worst thing about having your hand caught in Amber's beard, she's probably frothing at the mouth, which is coming down all over your hand.
But you know what? He probably has a fistful of boob as well.
Just hold in there. I'm not grabbing
Is
anything.
it like a
Name of a bad Western?
a fistful of boobs?
Starring. No, I'm not going to say that. It's a variation of Clint
Oh
Eastwood.
damn it! I didn't see the uppercut to the nuts. That was it. No, the jaw straight up.
So getting that first hit, realizing that there's radiant damage in it,
Yep.
I'm going to action search
Yep.
to try and pull out as much damage as I can before
Alright, so
she's
she's
able to
actually
hit me
getting 3
again.
attacks.
You also have advantage on your first attack.
Okay.
Nah, all of them, I think.
I'm
Yeah.
just checking.
All of it.
Attack
it's a
rolls
good-
against you have
it's a good
advantage.
thing he has
Until-
advantage.
Yeah, all of them have advantage.
So 7 plus 8 is
15.
15.
To hit,
Yeah.
my armor class is 16.
Because she doesn't wear armor.
I don't wear armor.
That's not going to hit either. Fucking hell.
So
That one will.
Leading up to 3.5 barbarians were never as good as 5th edition barbarians.
Oh, yeah.
5th edition barbarians are off the scale.
Yeah, they
Overpowered.
Third Ed were still pretty damn
Yeah.
good.
So I managed to hit her once out of the 3 times.
She's furious about you touching her.
Oh,
beard.
At that point, I would have ripped the.
Yes.
Also, that 6 damage becomes 3 for her.
Yeah,
Yeah, this was a bad idea. You realise when I wake up, I'm taking this out on you.
It's alright, she'll soothe you
That's
with
fine.
alcohol.
I'll hand you 1 gold coin. No.
So you do
I-
6
I-
damage?
Yes.
So I take 3.
3 damage.
You will wake up with your head plastered all over the inside of the car.
What's your max HP?
Less than yours.
Okay.
Okay.
The not so great
I'm
Montgomery.
gonna speed this along a little bit because this is gonna be a very long fight if we just drag this out a bit.
Yes.
So what I'm gonna do is this. Amber's gonna win this, we know this.
Yes.
Alright? So describe how the fight goes. Give me 3 rounds.
Okay. Well, she's uppercut you. What did you do? You pulled your arm out.
I would have pulled my arm out, tried to hit you once,
I say I
missed,
ducked. Like
Ducked?
I ducked. Dodged the next.
tried to hit you again,
Dodged the next.
and then I just came up with a kick to actually get you right in the side.
Okay. Okay. She's going to. Oh, she'll take that damage. She's gonna swing around and get you in the side on the opposite side. So you've kicked that way and she's punched around that way. She's gonna kick you, suck you straight in the ribs.
As you do that, I like drop to the all fours again, and just like using my claws, dig in and just sort of like do the same thing, mid-drift, clothesline.
Can Amber use her new horse riding
I was
skills?
about to say.
Yeah, go for it! Go for it!
Amber's gonna use her new horse riding skills and jump on your back and behind. And thighs tight.
Have fun,
and just
have fun,
hold on.
At that
Hold
point,
on.
at that point, I use my strength, which fortunately is superior to yours, to just sort of like buck you off. No, actually, while you're on the back, I just sort of go, okay, grab your arm, jump, and just fall back with you on me.
You are squashed between the ground and the dragon board all of a sudden.
You've got spines poking into you because I've got spines running in my back.
Probably can't feel it, to be honest. She's
Probably
raging.
not.
It's the
But
weirdest
I don't
way to grow
care.
your beard.
It might be the most feeling her boobs have gotten this whole time too. Let's just.
What's wrong with feeling?
Just saying.
What's wrong with the feeling? Yeah.
It's fine, we'll hose you down later.
She's gonna actually hold you to her and punch in that arm.
Okay,
Keep
take
going,
it
keep
into
going.
the ribs,
Slow.
and I just start like nailing you in the side with my elbow.
So you do it.
going
Elbow
through it.
Eventually gonna
You
run
excel.
out of breath. She's
What?
got you around the neck. You're eventually gonna run out of breath, unless you try and break it.
Can I describe a little scene there?
Grab your arm and rip it off and jab you in the thing and roll away.
Okay, that's what I was trying to tell you because she had it around here. She's gonna get up.
Imperious is just
and,
going to
like,
push a chair
charge.
slightly over to
Not a table. Not a
Wait,
table.
why is there like ropes around the edge which are electrified? Trucking grass.
She's gonna charge at you like almost head first and then like punch.
Because I'm down
Oh.
there as well. Because
Yeah.
I'm.
She's getting
She's
Fighting like a
4
dragon.
foot tall. You're
I
7.
was going to
Yeah,
say,
no, but I'm on all fours.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Fighting
you,
like a
Probably
lizard.
the
so
same
you're
height.
both probably now 4
Yeah.
foot.
I
Yeah,
imagine
yeah.
it's more of punch, headbutt.
Probably. Like it's head and 2 arms coming at you.
She had a table
I take
like
2
this,
hits
better be held
and then just
against.
start like. I start clawing.
Yep.
So
You're
basically
probably
just
looking really fucked up
rip.
at this point.
Yeah. I'm actually starting to bleed and stuff, and I just like claw at you.
Are you going to fight until the
Middle.
end, or are you going to call it?
Not
It's actually a
sure.
really important decision. That's a really
It is.
characterful
It
decision.
is.
Like what would your character
People,
do?
audience at home, do you think he should fight until the end or call it?
Now we're going to wait for the responses because of the delay. Yeah, keep fighting.
So,
It's alright,
yeah,
it's
so
coming up.
I claw you in the side, probably getting some of your beard in there as well.
I'm gonna try and grab your arm at that point and pull you towards me as I punch your face. You're at my height now. I can hit that face. You made that mistake.
Shouldn't have gone feral.
This is how a lizard fights hand to hand. We don't.
The only thing
Fight
which
like
would have been
you
worse
humans.
is if you challenged Rowan.
he would have turned into a bear or
Yeah.
something.
And then when you punched the elf out of the bear, it would have changed to the bear again. You punched that one
At
out.
that point, I would have mind using fire, which I can't use in this fight.
He sheared her beard. Kill him!
Pretty much. You touched the
I
fucking
take
dude.
that hit, and basically, no, as you're pulling me in, I basically do the same thing. I'm like, oh, you're gonna punch me, I'm gonna punch you. Basically connect same way with you.
It's mini Sonic Boom.
Okay, so you two suddenly get to this particular point because you're roughly at the same height because you've dirty bend now, and you've both just gone for pull and punch at the same time.
Well,
Both
she's
of
pulling
these-
me along, and I'm just like, fine.
That's
I
it.
pulled
Extra
his
power.
arm in, aiming for his face,
Yep.
and he's grabbed my
And you
arm.
both connect at each other's face at the exact same time as you've done this pull together. However, because Amber can just take crap loads of damage and you've taken a lot from Amber, you both pull back for that briefest of moments and look at each other. And then you fall down.
Oh, you don't know what happens when you wake up and you're looking up at the night sky.
Apparently,
And
someone's
someone's holding a glass of
Fatality.
beer.
What?
Finish him.
Fatality.
Amber would not kill him no matter how angry she was.
Wishbone.
I'll keep that in mind for the enemy.
No. If you break the tail off, they'll grow back. It's fine.
Don't give her ideas.
I love the one eyebrow track. It's good.
Amber's just gonna stand there like until someone eventually comes and calms her down.
And the Dragonborn is passed out on the ground. And the crowd cheers because that was a fantastic
Quick, give her a gold piece.
fight. Quick,
She
go!
doesn't know anything about the
They were
gold.
going for free.
She doesn't know anything about the gold. She was just fighting.
She just wanted to fight.
Not long after, because I'm not going to let you be unconscious for all this, a bucket of water gets poured on your face and you come back to consciousness.
And I walk over to you and I hand you my personal tankard, and it's full of my healing ale. Good fight. And
Good
like,
fight. And shake hands.
Help
And I
you
just sort
up.
of like glug 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 glug.
Yeah.
You're
glug,
getting
glug, glug.
healed and wasted at the same time.
You need to do a Constitution save.
I'm not going to actually.
And he's
It's the
out.
first time I've gotten drunk in this whole thing.
And like, not just drunk, but really drunk.
I was gonna
Roll
say-
one.
Think about it this
Roll
way.
one.
I was gonna say he wakes up, has a
You've
drink.
lost a bit of blood, so the same amount of alcohol is more of your blood alcohol level.
Basically, I'm gonna put it down to I'm like
It's science.
now leaning against the wall, just going.
You're on 8 HP, by the way.
Pardon?
You're on 8.
8.
I healed you.
Don't
at 8.
worry about the healing.
Yeah.
Don't worry about the healing.
We're gonna sleep before the next.
Yeah, you're
I was going to say, I am not going to say this, but my mind initially went to, so you're on first watch, right?
At that point, I just sort of like smile at you and just let smoke escape from my lips.
Which is why I'm not saying it.
That was a good fight, friend. Good fight.
The crowd has been cheering and they thought this was the best thing they've seen in quite some time. Everyone who is
Table of Doom.
everyone who is here, roll.
We call you Todd. Damn it, I thought I'd get a spit take on that one.
Almost.
Almost.
Swallow.
Everyone roll a perception roll, please.
Do you want me to do that with disadvantage?
Yes.
Let's do
Okay.
10.
What am I doing?
Perception
Oh, no,
roll.
10.
What's that?
10.
It's a 10.
22.
18.
10.
18, 22, 10.
What's
Yours
next
was
to 19?
10? 10? What was that?
What's
What-
next
what-
to 19?
It's a 9. Okay.
Yes.
So I couldn't tell if it was a 9 or a 6.
The
alright.
lines are at the top.
Less than
I
10.
couldn't remember. I've been using.
You could look at the
20.
19, which has them at the top.
No, wait, what is it?
It's
9.
a 9.
So 10. 10.
She's
10,
using different
alright.
dice.
You two got
I
the
got my
18
dice
and 22.
3 of us on 10s.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I'm too busy drinking and
You
like
two,
congratulating.
especially because you're not actually part of the fight, you're not being distracted over too much. It's just like to you guys a little bit. The lady that you have seen glimpses of before in the other. Yeah, back to the plot.
Sorry, Tim.
She's like standing at the back of the crowd, sort of like, you know, and she's been there for a little bit, just watching the whole show.
Commoners entertainment.
Yes, but like there's nothing else going on, so it's kind of like commoners entertainment. Well, there's nothing else going on. I should just join in and watch this debauchery.
Can I roll an insight to see if she actually seems entertained by it, or she's just watching for the sake of there's nothing better to do?
Roll an insight roll.
Also, the conversation between like Amber and drunk Yolan is something along the lines of like, because she's not
17.
ashamed of anything ever.
Yeah, she's still has that sort of distance between her and the rest of the crowd. Her servant is with her.
She's making
But she's
jokes
like-
about you copping a feel.
Trying to make sure she's getting a good look between the crowd.
So
Like,
genuinely
did you
actually
like what you
intrigued.
felt down there? Now that beard is off limits.
I'm just
Don't
like,
be touching my beard. But I mean, like, you did cop quite a few then. Did you enjoy yourself?
He liked big beards and he cannot lie. The other Dragonborn can deny.
I just continue drinking, just like, dwarves are weird.
You are drunk. On healing ale.
Yay!
It's medicinal, literally.
Did you want to join him? Did you want to ask
But it doesn't taste like cherries.
Alright, the crowd after that
She's
particular
very
fight,
unashamed.
and you spent some time getting drunk and stuff like that, the crowd disperses amongst what it needs to do. Some of the soldiers don't return to the tavern, they go back to the camp, the caravan, and start packing up for the night.
I'll explain to some of the crowd that that's only the second time that the Great Montgomery has ever been defeated. The only other time was by the greater Ignatius D.
You roll a deceit roll.
It was also a dragonborn.
Greetings.
Also, you would now
26.
know what Amber
Oh, shit.
has
I got plus
under
10.
her beard.
Yes.
So I know for definite that you're a
Alright,
female
guys,
now.
guys.
Yes, and if she's wearing
Sorry?
anything.
Should I wait or just
Alright, this is actually a good spot to come in.
Oh, yeah. We're going back from shenanigans to plot.
I'm gonna leave this open because it's very warm in here.
Yes, that's fine, that's fine.
Hi everybody.
Greetings.
Hi, Dr. Nick.
You just missed a
that's
very entertaining fight between me and Amber.
And Amber won.
What? Well, I mean, of course you did. Why are you fighting?
Because it was fun. We
They're
were
bored.
bored.
It got serious when Yolan went for a growth.
He rolled in that one and his fist went through her beard.
No, caught him in the beard.
I have the utmost faith in my best friend that she can fight well.
Exactly. See? Rowan, my biggest fan.
Right.
Oh, her fighting name was the Table of Doom.
Oh god, you found it on the fighting pit?
No, that was
No,
very
we
good.
made a fighting pit.
We started a pub fight for entertainment.
Oh, of
Okay.
course. It's a country town. It's dead boring.
Here is our lady.
Yeah.
I apologize
I come
to
from a
anyone
small
who lives in
town.
a country town.
I come from a small town. I get it.
How small was your town?
What was the thing about being in a country town? Your choices are leave the town or ice.
Yeah.
Apologies.
Not when I was there. Ice wasn't a thing when I was in town.
Alright. The evening passes on, it's getting late now, and a lot of the soldiers have to go back to camp and still set themselves up and sleep for the night. Some of the soldiers are still doing guard duty, even if they are in a village and it's feels a lot safer. They still need to do the guard duty and return back to work. So there's only a small handful of people who are back in the tavern as the night draws on. You're still in the tavern because you've now got a little bit drunk and you're a bit tipsy, and are you a talker when you're tipsy?
Not a talker when you're not tipsy, so you've got to be a talker when you're tipsy.
Probably. I probably start to get a bit more loose-lipped about my past and everything. So I start telling stories of me growing up in the mountains and like the
Amber is
dragons,
full-heartedly listening.
my clan and everything. So
But, sorry, a quick interruption. Good night, Sanrail.
Oh, good night.
good
I
night.
love you.
Thank you to
Oh,
the
thank you.
early American who stays up at 3 a.m. to watch us.
We love you.
Jesus.
And
far.
random monk for the win.
Fatality.
He was wasn't he a fighter? If he's using superiority dice.
Yeah, he was a fighter.
I was gonna say
Everyone
he's a
made
fighter.
assumptions. That's what you always make assumptions.
Because of the amount of damage he was dealing. And
Yeah, which you can do.
Because you can add the
Maneuvers.
superiority dice to damage.
I just wasn't because I was using
No,
it
it's
to
fine,
deflect
is it?
his
I never
superiority
get to
dice.
see him use these maneuvers, so I wouldn't know
If
that.
Amir dies, I'll just come back and play that random monk.
Okay.
Alright.
We have a random monk now already.
Yeah, we do. Right, so we're going to do, before we move on to the next day, you've all done what you've done for the night, had your rest, had your drinks, got a little bit drunk, had a fight, entertained the crowd, and everyone returns back to whatever they're doing, either the room up the stairs in the tavern if you decide you want one, or back to the caravan and just camp there for the night. And then we'll do in the morning after the break. So we're going to have a quick break, and when we do, we'll come back, we'll continue on this in the morning. I mean, in the in-game morning. Not
Well,
literally.
yeah, that might be the long one.
A lot of,
Yes,
yeah.
quick break.
So we'll be back in about 10-15 minutes, so have a rest, grab a drink, and
Random-
come back, and we'll
Random Monkey's his
continue
name.
playing.
Yeah, that wasn't his class. His name is Random.
His
Monkey.
name's Random Monk.
Random Monk the fighter.
Ah, Random.
Random monk.
Oh, I'm Random Monk.
It's to throw you off.
We'll be back.
Right, we'll be back.
Well, what do you think was going to happen when you fisted a dwarf? Oh, okay, sorry. So, guys, what did I miss?
No holes barred.
Technically
No?
true.
No holes barred.
Go on.
So the night kicks in.
Apparently I'm a bad influence.
Everyone starts heading towards either the camp to rest for the night, or for those who decide they want a good bed, hire themselves out a room for the night, either within the common room or a room by themselves if they're willing to pay the money, and it's free.
No, I go sleep in my nest of coins.
Yep.
Drunkenly splayed out on them like.
Are you snoring?
You're like thunder.
I'm a big boy dragon.
Not really.
I like the idea that he accidentally singes one each time he sleeps. So in the morning you come around and turn it over and hide it on the other side of the fire, so he doesn't know that he's destroying them.
You guys didn't even pay attention to anything I said before, did you? Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
The night passes on and you start falling asleep. The lights from the village start to wink out as people fall asleep. The only real lights left in the village on is the tavern. But Imperius does what he normally does every night, especially tonight, because out in the village, out in the clear, it's been one of those fantastically clear nights, not a cloud in the sky. And you can see the full look of the galaxy, the stars in the sky, and this is always one of those sights that you've always been wondered about. No matter how many times you've seen this sight, you love it. It's one of those things. Can you roll me a Arcana roll?
I can. That is an 18.
You look at one of the constellations that you've known for quite some time. One of the gods seems to be shining bright in this particular area. The god of the constellation of Tyr.
I think that makes sense.
The Hammer of Justice. The 5 stars that represent the Hammer of Justice. The other stars represent the figure of Tyr. However, you notice the brightest star in the middle of the hammer itself is not there. Roll me another Arcana roll.
Interesting. That's not a good one. That is a 7.
You look around for a little bit more and look at another constellation. Seems pretty normal. Constellation of the hunter, of the bow, the 4 stars that make up the bow, and the 2 stars that make up the arm. All looks good. Roll another Arcana roll.
That is a 19.
We look towards another one of the constellations. A constellation that is well known amongst the Sigmarites as the star or the constellation of Sigmar itself. The human and the crown and the shield. However, the bright star that represents the light of Sigma inside the shield itself is also not there.
Interesting. I'm going to look for some of the other god symbols in the sky.
The other god constellations.
Yeah.
You see another constellation over there, you have a look. It's the constellation of the elven god of fertility. Roll an Arcana roll.
7. Seems to be
This
repetitive.
one seems to be quite fine. There doesn't seem to be anything wrong with this one. So you decide, this is still a bit strange though. You have a look towards the smith god, the dwarven smith god. The cluster of stars, especially the one that also represents a hammer as well. The bright star of the edge of the hammer itself is gone.
Okay.
And I forgot to make you do an Arcana roll for that one, but you get one for free.
It would have been a 16.
Yeah, it would have been fine. Do one more for me.
Seems to be hammer related. One could say it's hammer time. That is a 21.
You look at a few other constellations and you notice that amongst them there's several different god constellations, from various denominations that you always know of and look at. And various bright stars that represent a good symbolization of that constellation are not there.
Do they all involve hammers or
No.
tools of some description? Weapons even?
No.
No?
It's just that's the best descriptor I have for the top of my head. Some of them might be like the belt of Orion type thing, but like one of the 3 stars of the belt of Orion is missing, but it's not the actual belt of Orion, it's a constellation in this world.
Do they all seem to be a fairly important star of that constellation?
The more thing you notice about all the ones that are missing is that the brightest star are off the constellations. That's the commonality you do see of all the ones that are missing.
I'm going to chart their position in comparison to what I know of where the star fell on my sheet.
It is just too much. Not too much, sorry. It's more like there's just not enough information for you to know.
Oh, I just mean like their positions and relative location based on...
The world map?
Yeah, the world map.
Again, well, it doesn't work like that. This time of night when you're looking at them, they'll be at one particular position representing one particular part of the world, and then in an hour's time they'll move.
Can I make a history or religion roll to see if this has possibly happened before, or something similar I may have read about in the Library of Estra?
Roll. You can roll both.
Okay.
Tell me which one you're rolling first.
I will. I mean, I can roll together if you want.
No, roll which one first.
I will roll history first, I guess. That is a 20 plus. Where's my history? 24.
Natural 20?
Yeah, no.
Okay. Your history doesn't, as much as you've read of your history, it doesn't tell you anything about this type of stuff happening before. And you've read a lot of history. So for you, more than anything else, it's kind of like this is out of the ordinary more than anything else. What was the next one you're going to roll?
Religion, relatively.
Roll religion.
He's going to ponder, and then when science has failed him and he cannot possibly work out what could work, and being that every single one of these stars is related to a god, he will...
Actually, don't misconstrue to the gods. It's just the constellations you looked at. As you started noticing the stars missing, you look at other constellations not related to gods.
Okay.
And some of them are also missing. However, based on your history roll too, actually, I'll let you have it with that as well. Even though some of the constellations that have stars missing are not related to gods, all constellations are religious in some way.
Yeah. I was going to say based on... that is a... for religion... Where is it? That is a 21.
Yep, same thing again. I said some of the missing stars you've noticed in the constellations, even if some of them aren't directly related to constellation gods, some of the constellations that you do see, while they are not directly the gods themselves, they are related story-wise to god acts, or to god history, or to god religion in some way. Like the Star Shield is one of the constellations that exist within the universe. And everyone just calls it the Star Shield. No one realises that it's actually related to religion in some particular way, but you do, because of your religion and history, you know. But it's more distant than anything else.
I'm going to at least chart down which ones are missing stars.
Yep.
As many as I possibly can.
Yeah. You will wake up in the morning with fatigue.
Yeah.
Because you start noticing...
That's 2 points down.
Yep. You start noticing that there's more stars that are missing. More related to most of the god. It is mostly related to the god constellations, but the odd few here and there have also disappeared. You've got to about 20 after a couple of hours of really looking at these things and figuring out, because you know it's been a while since you've done this like to this particular level, and you're going to go, did that have 2 or 3 stars? You can't quite remember. You're putting a few assumptions together, but yeah, it looks like there's quite a few stars that are missing in relation to constellations of the gods.
Okay. Yeah, I'm probably going to stay up all night.
Yep.
We do wholeheartedly expect a side of the candy pillar to have like all these sheets of paper with red strings connecting them all.
Oh, I did that last session.
Okay.
Yeah, you missed a bit.
Hey, I was taking a shit for 3 days.
You all wake up in the morning.
I'm stocked up.
From your various locations that you're sleeping. If you're sleeping in the tavern, you wake up in the tavern. If you're sleeping at the caravan, you were sleeping at the
So he's
caravan.
sleeping on the roof, or
He's still up, sitting on the roof.
not when I get up?
Well, he's probably actually on the ground by now and still just like writing stuff into your book by now.
Yep.
As the dawn comes in and the sunlight creeps over the horizon, you've lost sight of most of the constellations, but now is when you're furiously writing into your book everything you could possibly think of.
Is it fair to say that at some point when I got back from my foraging, I like went to say hello to Imperius and got absolutely no response?
Pretty much, yes.
So.
But the rest of you guys have woken up and you're quite fine.
Where did you fall
Well,
asleep? In the caravan?
Has he woken
Yeah,
up yet?
I probably walked you back.
I fell asleep sprawled over all the coins in my nest.
I probably either carried you
First
or
thing
walked you back.
Yeah.
take
Like
disadvantage
dragged
on
you more than
skill
carried.
check rolls.
Basically.
Second one's
Yeah.
tax. No, hang on. No, movement. Ah.
Half my movement
Half movement.
and attack as well, or
No, tax is the third one.
I
Your
probably.
DM screen's upside down.
It is upside down.
Just saying.
it does make it a
It's
bit
got,
hard
it's
to
got all the
read.
information here, but it's upside down. Disadvantage on ability checks for 1, speed is half for the second,
Yeah.
and disadvantage on attack rolls and saving throws for the third.
Yeah, so I'm on
You
2
need some
points.
rest.
Well, I have spent like the last 2 nights since charting stars and stuff.
I likely kept Winnie
Dun dun
and Nay
No,
company.
no, just dungeons.
Concerns me with the kind of monsters that were hiding behind that screen.
No.
But you know the worst monsters we're likely to face?
Yourselves.
Each other.
Yeah. Yeah.
Roll for initiative.
That's right, isn't it?
Nobody pissed Amber off. She.
You know one of the beauties about this particular D&D game is that I would be killing the players. The players will kill the players.
Out of the players that have already been killed, or the characters that have already been killed, how many were you responsible for?
All of them. Which is only one.
100%!
So,
Science!
I expect Rowan slept at the candy pillar, woke up and saw. What, Amber, would you have also slept there?
Yeah, I walked Yolan back
Okay.
after getting him drunk.
I assume I'd wake up before them because, you know, trancing. Are there any, like, telltale, obvious physical signs of a tussle that I can see, like black eye, arms and splints or
Yeah,
anything?
there's a bit of bruising happening.
It's probably bruises, yeah.
I'm
Probably-
guessing with Yorlan, it's hard to tell.
It's hard to tell, yeah.
I was gonna say with
Are
Amber, it's
some
hard
of
to
your,
tell.
some
gonna
of your
say-
scales darker brown?
Or missing entirely?
No, it'd be more the flesh around his mouth would
He might be a
discolor.
bit swollen,
The,
maybe.
and
or
I look a little bit swollen.
Maybe a
That
couple
most
of
of my
cuts,
scales should
light
keep
cuts.
that under control.
There was some amateur dentistry.
There are no missing teeth.
He didn't break his
No, no.
ribs, but there might be some bruises.
It's just like the two of us standing over him still asleep, and I'm like, so what happened here?
There was amateur dentistry. They did not get past the anesthetic stage.
Oh.
No. There was a fight for entertainment.
As they're standing there watching me, I sort of like shuffle in my sleep and just sort of like jump, and like a small flame shoots out in your direction.
I'm very startled and just like shoot eyes at it. I'm like, you're inside the cart. No, it's brand new. Ish.
Just getting
Like,
stabbed
you
into
please
it.
don't talk. I will be disappointed.
Prestidigitation. Sounds of a soothing brook.
No, I do that.
Hmm?
That's what I do.
I do it better.
Oh.
On part number 2.
Well, did you put
Number
charisma as a
3,
jump
you mean?
stat? Yes, I did. Yeah.
Mine is wisdom. I'm not very good.
Okay. So,
That makes 2 of us.
I think what we
I'm
need
like,
is
yeah, I can take on that dwarf. It'll be fine.
a good meal of bacon and eggs for everyone in the morning.
I'll take like a dozen of the coins and just like not on the bed, pile them up in like a pyramid and just put a single
Good berry up
good
top.
berry on top. So when he wakes up, it's very obvious.
Alright.
I wake up
Also,
and go outside to
feel
take a
better
piss.
Would
Yep.
you be able to
Why are you
pick
rolling
out-
to take a piss?
I'm not willing to
I'm
take
sorry?
a piss. Just, do I find him asleep?
We bought a cow.
No, he's
I
awake.
still awake.
Why do I have to know?
I'm like, is he
I
like
don't
just
know how.
just
You had nuts.
riding in the same spot?
Yeah.
No, at this point
Yes,
I probably
I
started
drank it,
drawing
so I don't know
on
how
the
to
ground
get
with a
this frog
stick,
out.
like charting constellations on the
Like,
floor.
how asleep is he? Like, I know he's
Oh,
asleep,
he's
but-
like, you probably watch, if you're going to watch him for a little bit to sort of see what he's doing, because you probably noticed that he's just writing furiously in his book or writing on the ground with a stick. And every once in a while he just pauses and doesn't do anything.
Just
like micro nods.
Buffering, waiting.
He's just like,
More of like,
It's that damn Australian internet. You realise he's not actually running furiously, it's just in an infinite loop.
You're buffering.
Yeah, so.
Do you want bacon and eggs for breakfast?
Yes, yeah.
What do you want them to taste like?
Food.
Excellent.
I'm feeling very normal all of a sudden. It's quite unsettling.
You don't look normal. Thank you. In what way do you feel normal?
I mean, I was just out picking plants, and I come back to him and her and him.
Wow, thanks.
Amber's snoring furiously.
Really?
Have you just been putting on an act to try and be weirder than the rest of us?
No.
Because that is a competition which will end badly.
what's that?
Fine. Everything's fine. And I produce a slightly dented flour crown that I made during the night. Well, like, it's fine. I'm gonna make some.
So that sounds like a challenge.
Right. Instead of a flower crown, you just have a tree balanced on your head.
Yeah, it's a bonsai.
Since there's not a lot of trees around here, I expect the dawn chorus isn't as much of a thing.
No.
So I'll just
Like this close to town anyway.
I will play a bird-esque dawn chorus with Druidcraft to make sure that the entire party wakes up.
Yeah. It's still quite early in the morning when you've all woken up, of course, and you're starting to hear the townsfolk start getting into gear and start doing the stuff that they do during the day.
The baker is baking.
The baker is baking. He's probably one of the more normal noises, or at least more familiar noises you could probably hear. That's it, pretty much.
What time of the year is it?
It's still getting towards the end of summer, so it's still pretty
It's
warm.
always summer.
Oh, so it's about the right time for hot cross buns.
Yeah. Yeah.
Apparently here that was Boxing Day.
Admittedly, I didn't have a problem with that because they had apple and cinnamon hot cross buns, which are amazing.
I just thought
The
it
rule
was-
is, if you don't buy them, they won't sell them. Everyone buys them. So guess what?
They
They
keep
put them on the
selling
shelf.
The thing is,
Anyway, guys.
Yeah.
So,
Don't derail.
get some food.
Yes.
Yep.
I will.
Are we staying in this town for
One more day.
One more day, yeah.
Yeah.
I will.
Monday
I'm
Amber, he's gonna, when she gets up, she's gonna mosey rather ponderously over towards whatever is the local blacksmith village.
Yep.
Emma, are you feeling 5 feet wide?
I beg your pardon?
Are you calling her fat?
No.
I'm not even 5 feet tall.
It's just the way
But
that
you
you're
don't
walking.
understand, you also do have rather small feet.
Yes.
So are you using your feet? Because you might be for your feet.
I'm going to.
I don't feel like you understand
up.
how this works, Amir.
I feel like there
leave
is a
the
joke here
caravan
that you are
and
not
I'm
saying because it's
looking for
not nice.
someone in the village who has knowledge of the surrounding area to where we're heading.
So it reminds me I was going to check.
Also,
Do
yeah.
you didn't really hang around the tavern that much.
I did.
You did? Oh, you did too. Sorry, you
It's
were.
in the
Yeah,
tavern
that's
more
right.
than
Can you give me
Investigation.
She
Yeah,
has
let's
smaller
go with
feet so she can
investigation.
stand closer to the forge.
8.
a? From all of the people
You're
you've
lucky.
witnessed through the
That is
tavern,
a compliment.
I know.
for all the people you've witnessed through the tavern and through the streets so far, you've only been there like half a day. You didn't recognise anyone who would be like a ranger or a forester or anything like that.
Okay. After that, can Can I go and talk to the soldier?
Which one?
The one leading our caravan.
Yep. Absolutely.
Is he up yet? I
Oh,
suppose.
he's been up for a bit already.
What's his name?
I never spoke to him, so I don't know.
Let's not pull up hopeless. Seriously,
No,
hopeless.
Here's a little piece of advice. If you ever don't know the name, just go, "Good morning, my friend."
Alright, that's what I'll do. Good morning.
Aye, good morning.
Do you know where we're headed to next?
Hey.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, we will head northwest, and then we will head slightly more westish as we travel at the intersection. And then we will be travelling through the pass, which I've completely forgot the name of.
You people know this. Oh, yeah.
I wrote down all the birds but no one's names. Yeah, that's about right.
Pretty much. And
I
then
lost all my notes because someone tore them out.
yeah, someone tore them out. Yes, that's right. And my notes are around here somewhere.
My notebook is gone.
Pissed off about that one. But
Might be actually.
Yes, we will travel through the hills,
Orange.
which is unfortunately bandit country.
He's using
But this time of the year, it should be okay. It's more preferred than going in the more northerly direction.
what's up more northward?
That is the village. The road travels through the village that is haunted.
See? Other than bandits, do you expect anything on the road?
Do not. No.
Tell me, considering you're only expecting bandits, and at this I sort of glance around, we have quite a contingent of soldiers.
It would require quite a strong force of bandits if they were ever to attack us.
And why so many?
So many soldiers.
Yes.
In case bandits decide they want to attack us.
I'm actually going to roll an insight on that to see if he's not telling us something. +6 or 8.
Yeah, he seems to be on the ball. He just. The only thing you can probably get out of it is the fact that it seems like it is a bit too much. But at the same time, you're also travelling with a lady who seems to be of a prestidigitation, high prestige. Yes, high prestige. And obviously she's paying a lot of money for the soldiers and stuff like that to get through.
Yeah. Knowing that, I'm actually going to... Who is she?
No one's talked to anyone yet.
No, I'm asking him now.
Asking him.
Who is she?
That is the lady, Astrid. No, sorry, not Astrid, not Astrid. Yes, sorry, it's Lady Astrid, wife of Humbert.
You did ask.
I did, but I forgot because someone tore out all my notes. And she's important, I presume.
Noble.
Politically?
A noble. Pays money.
Why is she travelling north?
She's been invited to one of the estates of the Muslim.
See. Thank you. And I sort of nod and wander back to our caravan.
He heads back and starts, talking to soldiers and ordering people about, stuff like that. My German accent's not very good.
Ja.
Ja.
Nein.
Nein. Das ist gut, ja.
No, das ist verboten.
Just start everything with und ja.
Und ja. No, I'm way too Rammstein. I was like, du hast.
Just yell, schnell,
Schnell, schnell!
Oh god!
Oh, is this going to take me a drink?
Popped it too early.
Yola!
What did you do this time?
Apparently copped a feel.
Okay. I think at this stage I'm kneeling down next to the cow, having been
Okay.
persuaded to milk it by Amir. So I'm like, so it's these things, right? I've never done this either. She sounds very happy.
That's what you got from that.
I am sure you'd be better at it than I would.
Okay. Have you got like a cup or a bucket?
I'll get a bouquet.
A bouquet. Yes, you get a bucket.
above underneath, I'll like gingerly do a pinch and pull.
Pinch and pull.
Pinch and pull.
This is where we roll animal handling.
Okay.
This is where I come
Hey,
outside.
you're gonna be
The
so bad
pinch
at
and pull
this
was
time.
suddenly a grab and tug.
Don't let out the milk.
You roll a 1, didn't you?
We.
I'd rather not say. God damn you, me.
I just made a common sense suggestion.
It's technically a 5, but I know that doesn't matter.
I believe you're about to be kicked in the dick by a cow.
All of a sudden he turns into a horse.
Like you said, it was a grab and
you
tug.
do the pinch and pull.
And you pull too far and let it go.
Yeah, pretty much. You can do.
You're an utter disgrace.
And as a reaction, the cow basically just comes straight out and tries to kick you. However, it was quite wide from your actual position where you were, and you were able to pull your hands back in time and avoid it.
Nope. Your turn. Go. Do it. You bite.
Can you calm the animal down after what you have done?
Stop it. Naughty cow.
All I'm hearing is you and the cow mooing at each other.
So that was you telling the cow that if it doesn't settle down, you're going to turn it into glue?
No.
That's a horse.
Thanks. Wasn't soothed.
That was the cow saying. That's me saying, cow, I'm on my last nerve. Swear to God.
Cows just go.
The cow better be careful of the stakes. They'll be very high.
Fine.
The cow goes gentle.
I cast animal friendship because I don't have to deal with this anymore. So I'm just gonna. The cow now knows that I mean it no harm, and I'm gonna try again.
Okay. Animal handling.
Can I have advantage because of the spell?
Nah.
No.
He just wants to see another one.
What another? Yeah, what another one?
That's Jack. 10.
You managed to sort of get a couple of squirts out of the cow. The cow's like munching on grass. And you managed to get like maybe half a centimetre's worth of milk out of it.
Okay.
You've wet the bottom of the bucket.
You've wet the bottom of the bucket.
There you go.
Understood, Rowan. I expected more from you.
Oh my God. We don't keep cows in Berliska. No, we don't keep cows in Berliska.
Where did you get milk?
Almonds.
So, this is drink nut juice.
Yes. It's delicious. Happy to be here, guys.
I'm going to talk to Kabir, I think was the name of the...
Oh, yeah.
The guy with the menagerie.
Yeah, yes. Yes, my friend. How are you?
Not too bad. I'm trying to resolve a slight little inconvenience. That's our wagon.
Yes.
We have a cow, but it seems that we do not have anyone who knows how to milk the cow.
Me. Like, walk under the cow.
He's also got good animal handling.
I have to ask, my friend. What is the importance of the cow?
Fresh milk.
Are we not in a village?
But we will not be tomorrow.
But today, perhaps you can get one of the people who do know how to milk a cow to show you.
That would involve me milking the cow.
That explains why you're adventuring.
make a little more small talk, then.
Yeah,
First time. Head back, and I'll have some slightly scrambled eggs because there's a tiny bit of rock.
Look. Half a centimetre in a bucket is still not bad. It's like that much,
In fact, it's quite tasty.
which is fine for eggs. You don't need much milk to make scrambled eggs.
Alright, so you make yourself some scrambled eggs with the miniature amount of milk that you managed to get your hands on.
I mentioned that if there is anyone else who can get milk, perhaps we can have more for tomorrow.
It's just
When others
you
are around,
in the background, like just dismaying at us being idiots.
Or I can almost expect Imperius to go out there and just go, mage hand.
Yep, if he was asked to do it, that's exactly how he
Is
did
the
it.
cow in distress from not being milked this morning?
If you can detect that the cow is laughing and giggling at the same time with the ineptitude of the people milking it.
Yeah, it's because the moo goes slightly up at the end.
Well, I can speak cow. I probably can't appreciate that amount of subtext in cow language.
Any
It's
sentence
very
that
subtle.
begins with, well, I can speak cow, but...
Okay.
Really,
Yes.
have you managed to talk to any of the locals here?
No.
Have you seen any signs of guild activity?
I haven't actually looked.
I wasn't looking too closely last night.
Can I take a history check just to see if I've spotted anything last night? That's history, yeah? Doing it.
Just roll a d20.
6 plus whatever you want, ranging from
You
5
haven't
to 6.
you haven't seen anything.
Yeah.
No.
It's too small.
Let me know what
Yep.
I was going to go and see if we can find any eyes for the guilds around here.
Why?
It's a trade route. There should be people monitoring for smuggling. Might be observers for the bandits as well.
Fair. Let's go
Best
look
people
then.
to know for anything going on in the area would be.
Well, the bakery and the smithery would be, sorry, the baker and the tavern would be the place where most people go. Which one do you want to go to first?
The tavern seemed to be fairly rambunctious last night, so let's go to the baker first.
Fair enough.
The others may want to sleep in.
Alright. Amber is heading off to the smith and decided to head off out ahead of you guys. So you head to the smith.
Alright.
And like unlike a lot of the smiths that you've encountered in the cities and stuff like that, this is a lot different. It's basically just there is no signs saying that this is a shop. There's no shop front. It's just a small area at the bottom of this two-story house. Kind of like a carport, for lack of a better way of describing it. And there is him with his apprentice, and the forge is going, and the heat's going, and you can feel it, and they're sweating because it's still quite a warm morning towards the end of the summer, and they've got the bellows going, and they're hammering out, and what looks like both nails from the apprentice and horseshoes from the maidensmith.
I can't remember what it's called, but she essentially just wants to get like a small, not a mason.
Rock hammer.
Mason kit?
Masonry kit.
Yeah.
So you want a chisel and a...
Just, yeah, something where she can like carve out some rock or metal or something. To
Okay.
make
So
her,
chisel.
let her really
Mason's
simple.
tools, which are worth 10 gold pieces.
Yep.
Which is the idea that Imperius and Rowan put in her head last night, so now or yesterday, she was like, okay, now I need to go and do it.
You come up to the smith, and it dips down into the ground a little bit. And he said, as soon as you get to the edge of the smith, you can feel that heat coming from within. And they're busy just going.
Hello in there. Might I interrupt?
You hear, ching, 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 shh. It's noisy.
She shrugs and walks in.
Okay. Just doing. Look, he's got his back to you.
Yeah, she's gonna walk straight up to him. Probably to his side so she can get hit in the head with the hammer. And then probably like tap him on the shoulder. Oi! No, she's on the opposite side to the arm with the hammer. So the sword hand.
Yeah,
The one
alright.
that- yeah.
You're lucky that he's like swings around, goes. Oh, but you tapped him. Okay, so you tapped him. Alright.
It would be too awkward for him to swing around. That's
Yes. What you want?
Well, I'm looking for a mason's kit. You know, like a little hammer, chisel, maybe.
What, good? I don't even know if I've got one.
Do you have something?
I don't know. I'm busy, don't you see?
I'll leave you to it. I just wanted to know. I'll have to buy it off you.
Henry, do we got a mason's kit?
Well, I don't know. Well, I'll have a look.
His pocket.
He's like finishing up, put his nails down.
I thought we should bring Henry along with our adventuring party to like shoe out to be our farrier and shoe the horses and fix our gear.
He's only making nails. He's only up to making nails. He's got another 10
If he
levels of nails.
survives 2 weeks with us, he'll be level 3.
He's got another 10 levels of nail making it.
What goes into a mason's kit?
You know, like a little hammer, little chisel, maybe some tong things, you know, to hold things in place, little anvil.
It sounds like a smith kit.
Same shit, different smell.
I've never smelt rocks.
If you
No, I
did-
have technically, because it's all but
Well, I can tell you now, different rocks do have different scent and taste, and you can tell. And she just goes on a big ramble, starts talking about
call it a
rocks.
smith kit for stonesmithing. See if that confuses him.
She rambles about like rocks and their very, very specific differences in taste and smell.
And texture as well.
Yeah.
I don't think we got a kit for you.
Not even a smithy one. A little smithy one.
Well, I don't have one put together.
Could you put one together?
Um,
You got some like scrap tools around somewhere that I can have.
give me a moment.
he starts like reaching for a few tools and stuff. So you see a file and a couple of different chisels and a few little hand drill bits and stuff like that.
She's not overly fussy. Like this
Pulls
thing is
out.
gonna be crude as heck.
Pulls out a couple of things off another table somewhere that's been looked like it's been lying there. It's a little bit rusty, but functional kit.
Perfect. What do you want for it?
10 gold?
Perfect. And she passes over 10 gold and wanders off. Like, she's really that simple. Actually, she's like, oh wait, wait. No, do you have some like ore or rock that never mind, I'll go and find some. Wanders off. I'm pretty sure, didn't she get some off Yorlan last
Asks for the most obscure thing and then asks for the thing we have a lot of and doesn't want any.
That's Emma.
Hang on,
If you
before
go
I walk
around
off,
random strangers asking if they've got any rock, you might end up with some other purchases.
This is a small town.
Did Amber actually go to Yorlan and ask if she could have some of your scrap metal or not? I thought I did, but I can't remember.
Not that I remember. At the moment, I wouldn't have a lot of scrap metal. All the metal I have currently is being used.
She probably wanted
within
a few steps and
making.
then change her mind again. Like, actually, no. I take it back. Just some, or maybe some iron or something.
Yeah.
Just you know, a handful, maybe a bar.
He's a linguistic man.
Running like we can have this as a group activity where it's like, you know, like firebolt to like heat up the metal, and then everyone like has some part of the process.
How much do you want?
Oh, you know, just enough for a small trinket.
How much?
I don't actually know how. Like
It's
a
gold
bar.
value, how much you want to put in?
Oh, just like
10 gold.
10 gold.
10 gold's fine.
1 kilogram. How much is that per pound?
10 gold worth, yes, thank you.
10 gold. So yeah, that, I wasn't sure what kind of measurement.
Yeah, you just say, I put in 100 gold of iron and I'll say if they have it or not. 10 gold.
She'll be like, what do I get for this?
Here you go.
Alright, thank you. And wanders off. That's it. She's happy. And then wanders back to the camp.
That's one way dwarf.
Yeah. Because she's all in her own head right now.
Are you sure it's not in anyone else's?
I don't know, I'm pretty sure I stubbed that little boy for a while.
Alright, so you two, or was it just you? Heading to
How
the
about
bakery.
Cytus?
Okay, so you're heading to the bakery.
Because he's actually probably going to pick up more of the clues than I will.
Oh yeah.
Do you have breakfast rolls? We want some breakfast rolls. Where are the breakfast rolls?
I have
And
these.
some bacon.
I have these breakfast rolls, and I put bacon in them. They are wonderful.
While Amir is distracting him, I'm just going to take like an up and down of the place and just look for any Thieves Guild symbols, markings, anything like that.
Alright, roll investigate roll.
If we try hard enough, every episode
No.
can be a musical episode.
What's your roll this time?
10.
Alright, no.
Every
you
time we
see
talk
it.
about one more day.
My friend, it's great to see you come out, my friend. We have lots of bread in the morning. We always have bread in the morning because I'm up half the night baking this stuff for everyone.
Not here, Amir.
Are you familiar with the area around here?
Yes.
We were told that there is 2 paths for the trade, but one of them is haunted. Is that correct?
That is what I've heard, yes.
How long has that been going on for? Do you know? How
Oh.
have you been hearing about that?
Oh. That's a very good question. I do not know.
Was
It
it
is,
before the salon took over, or was it afterwards?
It's been a while. I think it's been... I could not say. It has been at least a year. No, I just... no, you've asked the question. I haven't actually paid attention to how long it's been happening. It just is. Most of the caravans avoid it, and they go the long way. It's only an extra few days, maybe a week out of their travel. But yeah, most of them just
Have you
travel
ever
the
been to
route.
that town?
Sorry?
Have you ever been to that town?
Have I ever been to that town? No, I have not been there. I have not traveled out of this particular town for quite some time.
What sort of events led to it being construed as haunted? I'm being very sarcastic with haunted, like.
Yeah. My friend, I cannot even remember how long ago it was haunted, so I do not know. It was a village like any other village, at the base of the mountains. Perhaps there was dwarves involved. I do not know.
Do you know if any of the people in this town have visited that other one?
Perhaps one of the travelers in town, but as far as I know, the only people in town of traveler-wise is your group, who are traveling northwards. I believe everyone just avoids it because that's just the norm.
Thank you for your assistance, and that bread does look quite good, though. Like a couple of
Excellent,
right now.
excellent, excellent.
Considering where we are, I'll get the baguette. And then leave it for 5 weeks, so I've got a short sword. Sorry,
5 weeks.
club.
5 days.
5 days, you got a club.
Yeah. Right.
Really?
Did you believe him?
It seems awfully convenient.
He seemed like a fool, but not lying.
Very well. We may not get much information here. It is interesting that he only said that it was 1 year. At least a year. If it had been that way for a long time, he probably would have said, for as long as I can remember.
It's true, but we all know that hauntings or whatever generally have a reason, just because the reason's popped up recently. How long has Breton been out of power?
A couple of years.
If you want to hide your activities, making everyone believe a place is haunted is a good way to do that.
It's not particularly difficult to do with a magician either.
And with superstitious peasants.
Hey. Hey, simple.
It's getting higher on the list of things that I think we should check out.
Perhaps we should talk to the law enforcement in town.
Is there a law enforcement?
Yes, the church.
I probably should have checked that before I started the street fight.
Yes, probably.
I was not aware of any.
There were probably in the crowd.
Please,
cheering
the
on.
peasants loved it. They had nothing else to do for the rest
Perhaps
of
it was explained while I was taking a shit.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, this way. And I start heading towards
What is the Church of?
Temple of
Tia.
Tia.
Ah.
Justice.
As a small sidebar, just carrying back to the caravan, I feel like an amusing imagery would be Rowan with a bag of ice chips chasing around y'all and trying to like apply it to his injured face, and you're either running away or just like palm on my forehead. Nope.
It'd be that. Because I just can't be bothered moving today. I'm just like, please leave me alone, Rowan.
I'm trying to help you. It's gonna make you feel
I
better.
don't like ice.
The only way I'm accepting ice is inside whiskey.
Wait a minute. I've got that barrel that Amber gave me. I go back inside and get a hair of the dog.
Oh god.
Go inside and just, ugh.
Oh, you should have your hangover cure called Hair of the Dwarf. There's one strand of your beard in every.
He picks the worst one. He's the one that just gets distracted like that.
I will.
Random thoughts.
I'll open the bag of ice chips and just like put a few in your drink if you're okay with that.
Yeah, it's a bit more chilled.
Yeah.
Alright, so you guys head to the temple, which, because you weren't here last week, it was basically described as a Viking longhouse. And it was very, very basic in construction, using most of the local materials and stuff like that. The thing that basically made it resemble a temple is the symbol of Tyr. And this particular symbol of Tyr is the Viking version of it, which is essentially the up arrow. And the three people who look after this particular place, one of them is a human male with grey to white hair, with a short beard, kind of like yours, but also grey to white as well. Then there's the female human who had long flowing black hair, and then there was another one which also had the flowing. He was also a celestial sort of Esima. Had a very young, youthful look in his face, but otherwise human with a slight blondishness and glowingness about his as you look at him. And these are the three people who reside in this particular place and also represent the local law enforcement if required.
And spiritual guidance.
And spiritual guidance and yeah.
Well, I'm going to walk in and see who's closest.
You see in the long hall itself, in the fire pit in the centre of the room, it's been lit up but only in really low heat. It's still morning and you see the Asimar sitting there cooking up a few meats of some particular type across the grill.
You talk, I'll listen.
Is he cooking tiefling?
Jesus Christ.
No, he doesn't exist in this place.
Too soon.
Ah, my friends. Can I help you?
Yes, we're interested in some information about the area here.
Oh. Well, you have come to the right place, I guess. We are well versed in everything that seems to go around here.
As we are traveling through, we are warned about some dangers or potential dangers in a town nearby. Something about it being haunted. Is this something you are aware of? Or are these just stories that people say?
It is a bit of both, I believe. A lot of the travellers who come through this particular part have taken root into not going into that particular part of the world. And as a result, they head off towards the left-hand side of the mountains, as opposed to going the direct route. I have not been to that village myself. I have been in this particular village for most of the time that I've been assigned in this particular part of the world. But yes, we do hear all of the travellers as they're coming through and what they hear. But the only thing we managed to get out of the information, and it's all mishmash from different people and different things have said, that it is just basically haunted. Some say ghosts, some say weird noises, some say monsters.
Can I take an insight check to see how much stock he actually puts into it being haunted? Fuck me.
I don't think you're
Play man.
You can't tell. He's giving you the
I
information.
haven't rolled above 5 today.
Jeez.
Yeah, you can't really tell, so it's really
You
hard.
get a map. The dice rolls a lot better.
Also, less now it's noisy.
Do you have a mouse pad that you can touch?
Oh, we've got a spare map.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Do you know how long this has been going on for?
It is hard to say. If I were put,
When did you get here?
we've been here for 5, 6 odd years. At least I have anyway.
Was it going on when you arrived?
No. The village. We don't associate much with that particular village or most of the other villages. We keep mostly to ourselves in this particular part of the world. It is quite a few days travel to that village. It's not just across the road, so it's not something we do travel to. I have been there probably 3 or 4 years ago before all the hauntings.
At that, I look up and glance at him and sort of slightly squint my eyes. You said you'd never been there. Just 5 seconds ago.
You're trying to tell me that you remember every little detail about your life?
Not everything, but this confuses me. And I look at it slightly. Is there a reason why you're both confused? Why you might forget?
Is there something wrong with that gentleman? My friend,
He is an inquisitive soul.
do not take heed on everyone's words. It has been such a long time since I've been anywhere out of this village that I've forgotten some things. I do remember one instance of going there. It's like it's been such a long time that I've forgotten it completely, but...
Fair. I apologize. I sometimes find myself picking up oddities in people's phrasing without realizing it.
That is true, and through that you can sometimes catch extra things amongst the conversation. I fully understand. But no, it has been such a long time that I've forgotten myself. I do remember, it's coming back to me. It would have been during the times that the Bretons were more prominent in this particular part of the world.
What was the town like?
It was very a base of the mountains type town, associated with the dwarves who lived with the mountains quite a bit. There was some trade that would go on there. I think I remember a gentleman, dwarf, who used to live in that town. He's probably one of the very few who did. He was kind of a liaison between the dwarves in the mountains and, yes, the village people.
I was thinking, in the French accent, it was liaison.
Liaison.
And to
This guy I am actually being a bit purposeful with this French accent. It's not quite as heavy as all the other French accents.
And to get into the mountain, you had to pass through the village, I presume.
No.
No.
You couldn't get... there is a forest on the one side, and then there's the mountains on the other. So it's essentially going through, for lack of a better way of putting it, a valley.
Oh, okay.
Except that the one side is a forest more than another hillside. So a road that was built purposely for this has gone through that village, and that is the road everyone else. You could technically just go through the forest.
I pause for a bit, and if there was the dwarves in the area, this town is, apologies if I insult, for a lack of better word, quaint. There aren't many people. Why would the town collapse if it previously had a dwarven settlement so close?
The dwarven settlement itself has fallen.
Do you know why?
Unfortunately, we do not know. The dwarves are very secretive about themselves and their living. Everyone know of the citadel, the dwarven citadel that was in the mountains there. But to travel to the dwarven citadel required you to go to the other side of the mountains. So when you travel off on your trip with the other caravanners and travel along the route that they pick, you will see the citadel from the mountains on that side.
So either the citadel or the village?
Yes.
I see. Thank you.
Are there any travelers who come through that village, or is it all traveling slot?
I think one or two maybe have come through the village before. This is a while ago, of course, not something recent. I don't know if it's truth or falsities. Small groups, not a big caravan. Perhaps they got lucky, perhaps they didn't stay for the day, or perhaps they just travelled through and camped outside. I do not know. The stories are few and far between, and of course a lot of them are a bit verbose according to the actual truths. But it is enough of a story that comes from that village that most of the travellers avoided.
You have given us a little bit to think about. Thank you for your time.
It is a pleasure. That is what we are here for.
Thank you. And head back to the camp.
Head back to the camp.
I know I'm not there, but just so that we as players understand, basically we have to choose between going through the village or passing the entry to the citadel.
Currently, the choice has already been made.
Yeah, but like if we choose to deviate.
Yes.
We stick with the caravan and go a long way around, which will pass near the dwarven citadel.
You guys aren't attached to the caravan per se.
Traveling with it.
You're traveling with them, and you do have a little bit of a contract with them, but you got flexibility on how you want to achieve what you want to do.
It's a day rate anyway.
Exactly.
I go outside, find him there, pausing a bit longer.
Yes. His pauses are getting a bit longer every once in a while. He's like, no.
Micro sleeps.
Micro sleeps, yes.
Yeah, I'm poking him in the back of the head.
Experience. Firebolt. Firebolt, not fireball.
Still bad.
Off into the distances.
It was fine because he was leaning back up against the cart, so it's away from the cart.
Okay.
Don't just startle me like that.
You were asleep.
No, I was working.
You were asleep.
No,
And then you worked, and
definitely
then you were
was.
asleep, and then you worked, and then you slept. You see the pattern?
No.
It is time for bed.
That's the problem. I can't see the pattern.
What are you talking about?
This. Just like sprawled out across the field.
Yeah.
I see lines and circles and words.
Star formations and missing stars and
Missing
problems.
stars.
Yes, stars are missing.
What do you mean stars are missing?
I mean the stars are missing.
But where are they?
Well, they're not there. I'm trying to work out where the stars are. That is the problem.
Well, normally you look into the sky and there are the stars.
Yes, but they're not there.
What, so there was no stars at all last
No,
night?
no, there were some stars, but not all of them. That's here. It's all here.
So
Look.
which ones are
He
missing?
like.
Look!
See?
No, I do
Crystal
not
clear.
see. Oh, there's a worm.
It's all there. That one's missing, and look, this is the Star of Sigma, and that's missing, and that.
Oh, the stars. Sigma.
And Tyre Star is missing.
The tire? Are you Tia?
Here.
What do you mean?
That's how tight he is.
What do you mean it's missing?
It's not there.
But which star?
That one.
Oh, that's
Points at the constellation. The missing star.
That's
It's
like
the-
the
it's
most
the-
important
the
one.
one in
the
the
right,
center of
it's
the
the right
hammer.
star of the hammer. So like this is like there's a point, and then there's like two stars next to it, which represent essentially the hammer, and a couple that represent the actual shaft, and then a couple more that represent the stick figure version of Tia,
Or his hand, or the shield,
Yeah.
or whatever.
whatever it is. Yeah.
That it's missing. It was not there last night.
What else is missing?
Oh, it's last night. I realise now this morning.
Yet it is morning.
Well, this one's missing as well.
No, it's this big, see this big star, this big bright one? It's got the sun.
It's a sun. Yes.
Yes, it comes up when all the stars go to bed.
Yes, I know that.
Is it missing?
No, it's right
Oh,
there. This one's missing.
This is the best. So what have you concluded then?
They're missing. That's what I don't know. It's not making sense.
How many are missing?
Lots. I counted at least 20.
So you're saying all the brightest stars from all the constellations in the sky are missing?
Well, not all of them, but most of them, yes.
Okay, come with me.
What?
Well, you've got all your notes. We need to go see the other paladins, especially if our star is missing.
Religion. Puts together all these notes. It'll probably take a while.
Science.
Can I come?
Yes, please take him.
Are you still holding it?
Basically, doing this while drinking the fine whiskey. And you're like,
cordial.
Oh, it's so nice.
Very well.
Ain't no
Yes.
Ain't no ice
Ready to
for a
go.
bruised ego.
I'm gonna like take. Whoa, oh wait,
Rowan, can you give him something to keep him awake for the
I'm
next
gonna
2
like
hours?
cast prestidigitation on myself to make like a cool breeze to wake me up a little bit.
I'm
Some
gonna
noises too?
I'm gonna like cast frostbite exclusively on your hair.
I thought
Just
you were
so, like,
going
your head's
somewhere
really
else
cold.
with that.
So your hair is like crisp and rigid.
Okay, I'm not sure what you did.
That's all I can do.
How much damage will I take?
I mean,
Oh, it's brittle.
Why?
well, you're awake now, right?
Yes. It's fucking cold.
You're welcome. Let's go.
Brain freeze.
I'm sitting there like, I could warm it up if you want.
Please.
As you guys head off and head towards the temple, you see Amber come out of the smith on the way there.
Very absentmindedly and just muttering to herself. She's just got an array of things in her arms. Like,
Amber, stop being strange.
what?
You're walking around like talking to the objects in your hands, and the villagers are looking at you funny.
I wasn't talking to the things in my hands.
We're going to a temple. Want to come?
Would they appreciate me using my smith tools in the temple?
Probably the paladins.
Alright then.
They'll probably catch us coming out of it.
Yeah, pretty much that's exactly what I was going to do. You guys come out of the temple as they arrive.
So she will join them, but as soon as they stop walking to engage conversation, she's gonna plonk her ass down, fiddle with her bits of ore and her tools, and start like fiddling around.
Yep, that's fine.
Like she's still listening,
He's
but not
dumping the
engaging.
fire. There's a big fire in the
Yeah, she's literally gonna just be like, oh, okay, and just opportunistically start.
Forging in the
Yeah.
middle of
Well,
it.
you
I
want to
think,
like
or
some
you're
of the
going to
drinks
have
first.
to refine it to get, like, because
No.
or within rock.
No, she wasn't given
or
all.
shell.
She was actually given bits
chunk
of
of-
chunks.
No,
of
like an actual piece, like a block of steel.
Ingot.
Okay.
Ingot, thank you, that's the word.
She got 5 kilos of coke, but then was rather disappointed it was just cold.
So anyway, yes, you guys arrive at the temple just as these guys are coming out.
Hello.
I've just been talking to them about the nearby village.
Imperious. You look like shit.
Yeah, just leave him alone and
His
just
head's
for like
all over
30
the
minutes.
Prestidigitation.
Have you
Is
slept?
your hair melting?
We
Don't ask questions that I can't answer. I've done probably slept. Yes. No. I've done work. Yes. No.
You haven't slept again.
The stars are missing.
stop
Fix that.
distracting him. I need
When
him
we
for.
get back, I will make you some coffee from the 9 deserts.
You have coffee liqueur.
No, I do.
No, you have coffee liqueur. He has the.
Don't make him
Licorice.
coffee. He needs to sleep.
And a seedy one.
The 9 deserts liqueur.
Don't make him coffee. He needs to sleep. After this,
I can help with that.
You're going to hit me on the head.
I can help with that.
I don't think we need to hit you on the head to make you sleep.
Hello. Who's in here?
I'm sure I have an ale that'll put you to sleep.
It's just gone ahead of all of
Yeah.
this.
Open the door.
Completely ignore
Hello.
everyone else.
Hearing Rowan say hello, I move to intercept.
Welcome, my child. Come in.
Are you my dad?
Rowan,
I believe you're probably older than him.
Oh yeah. Humans.
We have to go in.
Is it the asthma?
Amber's just gonna bump
You're
you
like.
as much
in.
as
Taking
just
too long. She's
imperious.
like, move up, hurry
Imperious?
up, and just no.
Yeah.
Her arms are full. So
Who's
just
imperious?
shoulder him in.
Just got shoved through the door.
Oh, you just got shoved through the door.
I've shoved him through the door. It's taking too long.
Yep, that's fair enough.
That's my man.
Who's imperious?
Oh, hello, my friend.
Hello.
It's been a while since I've seen one of my kind here.
Yes, but yeah. Yes, it has been a while since I've met another Azabeth.
How can I help?
Brother, where are the others?
They are out performing duties at the moment. Halgrim is tending the horses and taking them out for the run for the morning. And Bjor is talking to some of the townsfolk.
Okay. We have a problem. Well, potentially we have a problem. This one, staying up all night, discovered that there are stars missing from the sky.
But yes, stars missing. Yeah. Starts pulling out diagram after diagram.
Here's a heap of paper.
At this point, Amber has wandered off and just started using
That's
whatever.
fine. That's fine.
She's
You're still in the temple
I was
though?
gonna say, but
You
still
came into the
in
temple?
earshot. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
She's dumped all the shit in the fire.
You
Do
don't
you
don't
mean
push
that
it.
the star is missing or it is hidden? They're
No,
very
no,
different things.
It's not there, or at least not to my eyesight.
Ah, because that could be if the star is hidden, that is different than if it's missing. If there could be magics which are obscuring it. If a star disappears, that is a major.
It's a lot of stars.
Perhaps I should have a look.
It is more than just one. He's discovered that pretty much. He said 20 constellations are missing their brightest
That's
star.
just the ones that I could jot down in time.
And why are we concerned by this?
Stars don't just go missing.
You're right, they don't.
Wait.
But this world is odd. It always has been. Magic has always been a thing.
But it's a star.
I have not met magic that can get rid of stars.
That's true.
Tunk, tunk, tunk,
Wait,
tunk, 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 tunk.
which ones were missing?
Stars go from this one here, see,
Yeah.
look. And
This one, and this one, and this one, and this one, and
And
this one.
Tier's star, that one, he was important that did.
Oh, the fertility goddess.
Yeah, that's good.
Oh.
My friend, give me a moment to go through your notes.
Wait, there's a dwarf
Tier's
god?
star is missing.
Oh, that would be very
Go to the
important for us to
forge.
go look through, but I want to see all of them.
Ah, yes.
She's
I
not religious.
do not know their names.
20-minute rant about what stars are missing, go over
Ring
everything.
bell
Are
land.
you there?
Him and the Asimar.
I'll listen into the conversation because I have some training in the area.
Okay, so him and Sabathel go through and start discussing all the stars. He's like, very interesting, very interesting. And you found this all last night.
Yes.
So why you?
I don't know. Because I am an astrologer, I look at the stars, that's what I do.
And there's no other evidence that you know of?
There was a very large chart, tunk, tunk, as I'm thinking, like back facing. It's a large chart he drew up on the candy pillar earlier.
At this, I sort of glance over and... You really haven't been sleeping, have you?
No. That doesn't matter. It's important. I have this, and pull out the paper with the
He kind of looks at it and goes, I do not understand what this is.
I'm actually... Can I roll to do a mental health integrity check? Serious?
Alright, roll.
Riley's looking at it
Roll an
like-
insight roll.
Can I just say this will have to be relative to
20.
the party?
against my deception roll.
He's genuinely concerned.
Okay, now I'm convinced. I'm like...
Oh, Amber 100% believes.
I was
He's
doing
not
a mental health integrity of.
Yeah, it
Curious.
was.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like,
I-
there's
I'm-
no
I was going to say it was already low.
and you, at seeing that, I just nudge you, and I go, Amir, he's telling the truth.
He will go through explaining the star,
Apparatus.
the paper, and how it was charted, and what happened, and what he saw, and what the students saw.
Okay, so you go through for about 10-15 minutes describing the apparatus and how
Probably
it came
longer.
about. Probably longer. And you also go through all the stars, constellations that you managed to find last night and the brighter stars that were missing. And you've gone through this, and this is a good half hour of talking about this, and he's like...
Explaining specifically
explaining
because
this.
the
And he's
bright
like looking
stars.
at your notes as you're explaining them whatnot, and he's like, this is very curious, I've not seen this
If he
before.
gets too incoherent, I'll try and translate.
Okay, yeah. At the end of that half hour, then you see Bjork come in, which is the older gentleman with the white beard and white hair. Sabathal, who be these people?
Hello.
Is he Jamaican?
Yeah, I just went to me. That's not the one I was going for. but-
I'm fine with that.
Whitehead.
Who are these people, man?
I'm Rowan.
Yeah, Rowan, how are you doing?
Oh, I'm concerned. Extremely concerned.
That is good. Yeah?
The stars are going out.
Sabathal, what is going on?
I feel like at some point, running out of paper, Imperius would have started moving people into positions to draw star
Yeah,
constellations.
you probably guys are standing around the hall, actually. That would actually make sense.
Yes, because I can't move Amber, it's just she's one of the center stars and just be
Like,
like,
and he pushes the position to be like the positions that the stars are like just posed in to represent the constellations.
I'm just picturing one of us being like Ralph Wiggum. I'm a constellation.
Yeah, but you'd approach me
Yeah,
and
me.
I'd just be like, no.
I'd be like, over there then. Please.
Bior, these people have come into the temple to describe some very disturbing events. Apparently some of the stars are gone missing or disappeared or whatever.
The stars!
The interpretation of whatever it is that we've all missed and not really paid much attention to. Then tonight we have a look properly.
Has there been any interruptions to your ability to do magic or to connect with your god?
There has been no disconnection, no.
Well,
Imperius?
Yes.
We get our spells like we do every morning.
we get our spells, yes, but our god is not answering.
Is there a Raven Queen constellation?
It is said that there
I will wait for Halgrim to come in and then we will do a ritual.
as the Raven Queen lives in the Shadowfell, it is said that the stars are hidden behind the shadows of the sky. That might be people being upset that there wasn't a constellation.
Oh. How did you know about her?
Yeah. Perhaps your paths may cross again. Was it a good dream? Dreams with the Raven Queen are very important.
I don't know.
Dreams and memories.
It said be prepared.
The place is getting a little bit crowded now with all of you guys in there as well as Biol appearing, and then not too long after Biol comes in, probably another 5-10 minutes later, the female woman comes in with the massive, flowing, beautiful hair. Biol, what are all these people here?
It's a
Put
party.
a hand out to stop Imperius from saying anything. Would you like the short version?
There is, this Biol, he just interrupts. There is apparently something going on with the stars. And we are going to perform an augury and see what we can get. Would you all care to join?
There is one other question I would like to ask. I'm not sure whether my companions have asked this of you previously. Are you familiar with the cult of Xenophae?
No, I have not seen, heard of, not caught. Neither Sabathel or Halgrim, neither of those go look at each other.
What is an augury?
It is
Divination.
a divination, yes.
Well, you guys are all
Divination
doing
for
that.
people
I
who
make
are
my
high
way
enough
into
level
town
class
to the
divination.
bakery, get a breakfast roll. And I'm like, just walking around town looking for all these guys. Just going,
Yeah, they're this.
where
Where the
fuck
fuck are they going?
I'm just wearing like normal clothes, but I've got my short sword on my belt.
I just picture you walking into the temple later on, just like with a turkey leg in your mouth, just going, "Hi guys."
All right, let us perform this. If you want to join a part of this, we are quite happy to accept. If any of you are of a religious nature,
Technically,
and you are,
I'm Rowan.
and you
He
do,
follows the druidic way.
Spirits.
spirits,
I followed no one, but Tia saved my life once. I'm happy to join.
then I would definitely would like to have you aboard for this.
Fine.
Whereas I have made a pact with the Raven Queen.
A pact.
I would not count that as religion,
Neither would I.
but it is
Powerful at times.
an account with divinity.
Amber will sort of turn around and be like, stop her ticking. I'm not religious, but
I could
God
be.
saved me once.
I do feel that the gods returned me to life.
The gods do that a lot. Sabbathel here has returned me to life before. It is the power of the gods, what they give us.
They left me with
I do not think you
Power.
understand. This was not through a human agent. This was intervention by the gods.
Hmm. In what way?
We had not had anyone cast a spell to bring her back.
No, I was, by all rights, I believe, gone. I remember darkness, and then light, and then I woke up, and I was fine. And
And now sometimes when you attack people, it glows.
yes, I'm not. Oh, good. It can. Okay, I'm not crazy.
Oh no.
Although it's not always good. Sometimes it seems light, and sometimes it seems kind of dark.
I ain't fine with that.
No, I don't know.
I want to help. Are we going to be noticing things in this augury?
I do not know how it would go. It manifests in different ways.
Okay.
She's actually going to put down things and go, I will help if I can. She's actually like, wait, commune with the gods. That actually intrigues her because she might be able to get answers.
The way we commune with the gods is an ancient tradition amongst us. We are of Tyr itself, but our traditions are more of the north, of the Northmen. So if you want to be part of this,
What does it involve?
we'll be here for quite some time, a few hours at least. We will be putting some incense and some other herbs through the place. It will get smoky as the things light up in the place.
Fine. I go and sit roughly in the center of the temple and start meditating.
Pull yourselves up a comfortable location and we'll get this started.
I'm not going to go to the temple until I roll above a 10, and I still haven't. So I'm just wandering around town going, where the hell have they gone?
I asked him if it would help to have a magic circle.
It would. They basically start, Sabbathel is the one who takes control of this whole ritual. And he starts creating a circle and doing all this stuff, and all these incenses start getting put up. So in the central fireplace, a lot of pots come out and incense going on and water and stuff, and steam starts coming out of this, and you can start to smell all the different incenses suddenly start filling the room. And it's a little bit smoky as it builds up, but it's not a coughing smoke or a fire type smoke. It's the incense more that's coming through, but it is making it a bit hazy. But this is taking a fair bit of time. You've lost, have no idea where they are. However, there's not many places you can go.
Yeah, it's gotten to the point now. I'm like, well, there's only one place left.
Yeah, pretty
I'm like,
much.
I should have
but
protected.
it's not my temple. Oh well. I just go in sort of like.
Okay, because of what they're doing, the door is locked.
Remember the magic term. Not my temple, not my monkeys.
Not my problem.
Knock, knock.
I will get.
Wow, timing.
That's the doorbell, yeah?
I was going to say, for those who probably didn't hear that on the stream, we just had a phone chime go off exactly as the knock knock.
I will get it. Halgrim comes up to the front door, open and hear the click. My friend, who are you? I apologize. Sorry, we were in the middle of something and the interruption was not expected. How can I help you?
I'm Yolan. I'm just looking for my group of fellow adventurers.
And
You hear in the background, the stars!
Calm down!
That sounds like one of them. I think they're in there with you.
they are all in the middle of a ritual at this present moment in time about casting an augury to talk to various entities.
Ah. I'm not sure if... I follow Behemoth. I'm not sure if that would help or not.
We have different denominations in this room by the look of things. Come, do you follow Behemoth well?
I do.
Then come.
Walking.
I'm sitting next to Antoine for this thing. And like at some point, I will cast Enhance Ability on him. I'll use Fox's Cunning, which will for an hour give him advantage on intelligence checks, which will hopefully help in some religious stuff.
Religious stuff.
Some religious stuff.
Yes, because it's
You give him magical Ritalin.
yes, I help you concentrate.
Wow.
This is good.
Why?
You all sit down and you find your positions where you define yourselves the most comfortable. You sit or stand or lie or however you feel the best way to approach this. It is up to you.
I sit as close to the fire as I can get.
So next to me.
I sit-
Basically, I'm just like staring into the flame.
Imperius is probably sitting as far away from the ogre as possible because he still doesn't really.
The
wanna-
room is not that big.
Yeah, but he
it's-
doesn't want to participate.
Yes, but you're participating anyway. As the door, because the door is now closed, and as this ritual has moved on quite a bit, the smells and everything else is coming in, and the whole place is starting to get it quite hazy. That you're starting to lose sight of everyone else amongst the haze, and you're starting to get a little bit not tired so much, but stoned, but not really stoned. You're not like out of it. You're not. A little bit of relaxed with a little bit of euphoria attached to it, but not out of it that you don't know what's going on. Everything still seems quite normal.
All that's going through Amber's head is the message she got when she woke up from that dream.
Yeah. And you go through, and things do start to go weird.
Shapes forming in the fog.
Yes. And you're seeing warriors of the Viking villages of the north manifesting themselves amongst the waves of clouds coming out of all of the incense. My friends, says Sabathel, in this particular type of augury, you ask the questions yourself. The rest of us will not hear, but whoever listens and answers may give you what you need. Or you may not get nothing. You may get nothing. Relax, let it take you. And in your mind, ask your question.
Amber is clutching her piece of iron.
As I said, more of those swirly mists form into themselves, into Viking figures. Some of them start forming themselves into more familiar shapes you're all used to. For you see shapes of the raven come out. For you see more shapes of dwarves. And there's no specific details of them, just the genericness of them. For you see old street urchins and old familiar types of people. For you see studious robed figures. For you see armoured warriors of Tyr. And mostly
Armoured
probably,
warriors.
yes. Yeah, you see more dragonborn soldiers and stuff. And you see various fey creatures come and go through all the mist. What is your
You see
question?
dead monkeys.
Because all that's going through her head is what happened in that dream that helped them was her message. Like, help who? What?
What is your question?
Is the Raven Queen in danger? Is my patron in danger?
How should I prepare?
Come back to me. I haven't thought of a question yet.
What's my path?
Are you really the...
Or next move?
What do the missing stars mean?
I was going to say, what is my path? But,
Where do I go now?
Just ask for guidance.
why do the gods not answer?
Where is my enemy?
here, buddy.
Right in the nose.
What was your question again, sorry?
Protect 2 from 1.
That's right, protect 2 from what? Swirls of mists form and deform and then reform again into symbols more than words. You see a human warrior lying in a field of grass. Well, what you expect to be grass. Blinking and not understanding the surroundings that he is in. You see large plains of grasslands, of lions traveling through the grasslands, owners of the pride and owners of this land. You see vultures circling above, and you see hyenas and other such good creatures.
Is that looking like my lens?
No. Very similar, but the grasslands is a bit different. It's not quite what you were expecting. And you see a lone raven standing on a carcass of some unknown creature, just picking away. You see a forest. Whatever it is, you're seeing through the eyes of it as it travels through the forest. You can't see what it's doing, but you can hear in its wake what you think is fire. You see a dragonborn on a rack in a very dark dungeon. A lot of his scales have been ripped off. And you see a hand, that's all you see, as it rips off another scale. This hand is familiar, but you can't quite put your finger on it. Many flashes come to you, as if all of a sudden a whole heap of entities want to tell you what's going on at once. That becomes a cacophony of voices you can't understand. As if they're all trying to tell you the answer, but none of them are stopping to tell you the answer properly.
Or they, because they're all trying to tell me at once, and they're not listening to each other.
Correct. What was your question again, sorry?
What does the stars falling mean?
Missing stars.
Missing me. The missing
It's
stars.
time. It's time, remember?
You see essentially a nuclear explosion in a mountain. You see like the peaks of a mountain, and that's all you see is like mountains and mountains and mountains. And all you see is mountain range, nothing beyond this. Snow capped. And you see the star as it falls, hits into the mountain, and this essentially mushroom of power, fire.
Could it be described as a dense impact?
Yes.
God damn it.
And your path
It's a fire shrine.
you see a halfling in armor beside you. Brothers in arms. Kind of looks like you. As he strides headlong into something you're not quite sure why, and you've done everything in your power to stop him. Because you know it's a trap. But you also know that the justice he seeks is what drives him forward. And in all of this, you feel that you're just traveling down a corridor that never ends. Another door on your left, another door on your right, a different path, a different direction you could take, but you still travel forward as he travels forward. And you know it's wrong, you know it's not the way to go, but you know you have to because you have connection. And that justice must be served. However, the corridor keeps going and going. And there's doors to the left again and doors to the right. All these different paths you can take to solve this particular problem, but none of them are justice. Eventually, it ends, and there's this figure, kneeling on the ground, both hands on the ground as well, with a robe covered over them, dirty, ripped, stained. He looks up at you with one of his two eyes, the other one covered in mucus. However, you can see a bright shining light in that eye that does work. It disappears. On the wind, you hear justice.
Were there any defining features on this person that I saw, the warrior, in the grass? Were they male, female? Were they wearing armor? Were they?
Male, wearing armor. Do a wisdom roll.
Oh yeah, great, because that's my totally best stat. 5.
That's all you could get out of it. That's all you can remember.
Okay. Can I see if I can glean a bit more out of my
You certainly can. Yeah.
But before I do, I'm going to call down my hawk totem.
Yep.
Which will give basically everybody in the room advantage on perception checks.
We're kind of in the middle of this weird thing
That's
happening where it's
But like, can it affect me?
just ask questions, don't actual.
Okay. I spent a lot of time in the forest. Can I recognize which part?
This is a forest. We have
Just
no
a forest?
idea.
Is Amber allowed to ask another question? Or?
You can ask as many questions as you want.
The next one is why me? Referring to why was she saved?
You get no answer.
But she asks it anyway.
Something you might be able to
Where
tell
should we
is
go?
whether the creature is bipedal or quadrupedal.
You come to the corridor as it moves on after you've asked that particular question, and it opens up and continues on that corridor again. Only, you think 10, 20 feet maybe, but the distance is really hard to tell, and you know you're not even moving. But you move forward, and you come to a round room with heaps of doors. In fact, they're moving amongst themselves to try and simulate the fact that the exits from here, from the direction you want to go in many ways. And the doors are all civilizations of different types of things, different shapes, different formats, but you can't quite figure out what they all are. They're all
Do any of them look different?
roll a wisdom check. They all look different. They all look different.
Straight wisdom or
Yep,
insight?
straight wisdom. Straight wisdom.
Where am I? 13.
Some of them are squares, some of them are octagonals, some of them are triangles even. Some of them have got really weird shapes. Some of them have very elven design, some are very dwarven.
Can I open a random door?
You can.
I'll roll a d20 for randomization. 14.
You attempt to open up one of the doors, but nothing happens.
Okay.
And as soon as you try and open that particular door, it shifts and another door appears.
I try to open that one too.
You open that one, and you get it to open, and it shifts away, and another door appears.
These are known as the Russian nesting doors.
Can I command to stop?
Try. Just roll it.
13?
13.
Hold the door. Hold the door.
Can't help yourself, can you?
No.
The door stops briefly, and you can see the symbol of teal, the pointed arrow up on this door.
Why am I looking? I had a cacophony of voices. I'm like, I just want the voices to stop so I can ask.
Ah, so you just got so yeah, the voices. That's right. Yeah, you asked one voice. I forgot. Sorry. For the briefest of moment, the cacophony of voices stop. There's kind of like this pause as things are pondering. Then all the voices all talk to you at once again, and you're not getting anything out of it.
Can I try and concentrate on one or
You can roll it 20.
7?
You get this feeling that as much as they're trying to tell you the answer, and all of them are not just talking to you, but also trying to talk to each other,
Yeah.
but none of them are hearing each other.
It's like the connections between them and me and them and each other is lost.
Yes.
Can I ask where? As in, where has that star fallen?
In the
Where?
mountains.
Oh
And
yes.
also
Where
wants
is
to
this
ask
mark?
Where is this man?
It pans out, and there's just more mountains, and more mountains, and more mountains, and there's more mountains, and more mountains. Then stops, and shifts, and you see an open plain of grasslands.
With lions and tigers and bears on
Correct. Not bears, though.
Not yet.
And you see another mushroom cloud in a completely remote area, not attached to anything at all. Then it changes again, and there's a sea.
I'm assuming another explosion.
Emma also wants to ask, who is he? Where can I find him?
Who is he?
The gentleman, the warrior. Yeah, the one in the field. He's lying there blinking, looking at the sky, confused.
Yeah, he's about to get starred.
There is this crater. Amongst the crater, that the only things you noticed is gravestones that have been displaced by this crater.
Okay.
You see another one, except this one's not an explosion. This one is an inactive volcano becoming an active volcano.
With mine, can I tell what colour the Dragonborn used to be?
It is your colour, brass, is it?
Copper.
Copper, sorry.
No, it is brass. Sorry.
Yes, I thought you were brass.
So brass Dragonborn.
Yes. The hand is brass, and the other one that's been tortured is also brass.
Am I?
So it's is it a scaled hand?
Yes.
So okay.
It is definitely a scout hand. That is what you do recognise, yes. It's definitely a Dragonborn hand. Thinner than what you used to do.
You know?
Am I familiar at all with the graveyard in which that was found?
It is... Do another wisdom check for me.
Just like any defining features.
Yeah, do another wisdom check for me.
1.
Yeah, that's your unfortunate thing. It just, these things are just a bit foreign to you.
Yeah, like it's a -2 to any
I have
element.
one other question.
Mm-hmm.
What is Shane hiding?
I mean, abuse it while you can.
You get no answer.
Fair enough.
Unrelated question.
Storyline not loaded.
Did I get any response for who is he?
Yeah, that was the crater. It was, there was
He's
fluid
Crater
and you
Man.
just couldn't get it.
Creator man, creator.
I mean, no, I get it. My character doesn't.
I ask the cloud, how do I help them?
That was my question.
You get, you're specifically asking on your vision, aren't you?
Yeah. Well, we can only see our own visions, can't we?
Yes. Picture of your village.
Before or after the attack?
Ooh, before.
Before.
Unless they built it up again.
No, we moved on.
Salt of the earth.
Any other questions?
Debating between.
So, just to make sure I understand, I saw through the eyes of a creature that was in a forest.
correct.
Okay.
One last question. How can I help? What does he need, so to speak?
You get this sense that help is needed. In a sense that a blackness is creeping at the sides of your vision. And your light that shines through you when you are raging is helping keeping at bay.
One question. I hate asking.
Go for it.
It's more of a statement, actually, now I think about it. And that is, Saloon, if you're going to hear me at least once in my bloody life, and give me guidance, now is the time. What does this all mean? Saloon be my god, or goddess.
Yep. No, you still think it's no answer.
Bloody knew it!
Old man shouts at clouds.
I'm gonna ask one more as well. What is justice? Or what do I do next?
So
Where is justice needed? Or
I can answer what justice is. Justice is blind.
You get this sense that it's kind of like my music changed to what I'm not sure.
That isn't appropriate at all.
No,
Auto change for the win.
it shouldn't have changed, but it did anyway. You get this sense that justice is it is how you interpret it. It's part of it.
Malleable. I have another question because of my previous question, and that is,
Fuck you.
that's a statement. No, Solaris, are you there? Are you listening? This being my my religious guide.
The religious guide.
Every asthma has one. Kind of my connection to the god.
Your spirit animal.
Kind of, in a way.
not a person?
Yeah.
Entity, ball of light.
This
And do I actually got a response?
yeah.
Oh shit. What do you make of this? Put you on the spot.
How can you answer it? Well, still being vague.
And that's pretty much what you get.
Just kind of like
Thinking.
the feeling of.
Sigh and then a throat.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Like
a mental side and mental shrug.
I
Yeah.
feel, but
I
don't
can
know what
feel.
to
I can
tell you.
feel that he's unsure of how to respond.
Can I play charades with these?
2 words.
No, like. Okay, stop. Okay, so. Horrible din for yes and dead silence for no.
Wait. Sounds like we're ducked.
So, first question. The gods can't talk to each other. Sorry, the connection between the gods is severed. Yes or no?
You hear the exact same thing you've been hearing. And
Horrendous din. Okay, yes it is.
This is dangerous.
Okay, second question.
Am I going to live forever? Oh, hooray!
No. If I gather together a follower for each deity, could connections be restored somehow?
okay, Gator voices again.
Okay.
I was gonna say, I feel like you need to ask a test question first,
Yeah.
one that is definitely a no.
No,
No, but this gives him free will to believe that he's got a religious mandate to kill everything. I mean, everyone taller than him.
Can I kill everyone too? Just 2 minutes to 10.
The whole ceremony starts to end. The smell of the incense is lessened quite considerably.
Damn it.
And too late now. Blame him.
No, because I was actually going to ask an important one. Where the fuck is Zenefeld?
And the whole
In your
place.
hearts and minds.
Yeah, in your husband. And the whole place basically starts to return to normal as you remember it. And you are all sitting in your specific places in this temple.
Can you see you sleep?
Yeah.
No, I probably would just be like, I'm going to bed now. Done with this.
I know there's
I
only
actually
morning,
think
but
it's been like
let's get drunk and pass
teeth.
out.
You guys come outside and it's actually mid-afternoon.
Okay.
Whoa.
I know there's only mid-afternoon, but let's get drunk and pass out.
It is 0 o'clock, yes?
Yes.
My character's still in the temple. She's working on her little thing.
Clearly,
What?
wait, she wasn't
Amber.
phased by everything that just happened.
We need your expert opinion.
What? What?
What is the best way to get drunk?
Drink lots.
Amber?
The potato wine is fantastic.
You should,
Tastes like shit.
you should lead by example.
I need to finish this.
I'm going to literally rabbit and just like
Hair
If
off.
there's a bunch of half-elf rabbits in here,
and just sit in Amber's beard.
She lets him. She knows it's him.
Tell us what a rabbit climbing to her beard.
Animal handling to not
And-
accidentally hit
it
him.
leaves you little jelly beans.
At the moment.
Like,
That's for
you just had
later.
like this whole experience and all you do is crack jokes at the end of it. Jesus.
At the moment, Yorlin's basically still sitting in the temple, staring at the fire.
Right next
And
to me. She'll be right next
those
to me.
that- Because she's the only one in the room, probably not perceptive enough to see, he's actually crying.
No, she wouldn't know. She's very, very focused at the moment. I have to finish my eyeball.
Oh, actually, I'm probably still in
I
the
have to
room
finish my charm.
at the moment, but I'm probably going back to the caravan to get my world maps.
And
I'm
Rowan
actually
is-
going to interrogate paladins.
Interrogate. That's a harsh word.
Rowan
Okay, maybe
is-
not
is
interrogate, but
physically shaking.
ask them some hard questions.
Physically shaking.
She's like stops momentarily.
Okay. So you're still in the temple. You're still going to be in the temple and talk to the paladins.
It's okay.
You're in the
Getting ready.
temple, but then you'll be probably heading out to the
He's
kingdom.
the
Your
Yes.
couch, grabbing out
You're
a
in the
carrot
temple.
and sliding
You're
it
still in the
into
temple. You're still in the temple because you're now arriving inside the beer,
Get it drunk.
and you'll decide to leave and go get
We're
drunk.
stopping now.
All right. Yeah, we are stopping now, and we will finish off. Not finish off. Sorry. We'll continue on next week for those who are still watching, because a lot of people have disappeared. It is late
But
in the
thanks for
evening.
sticking around, those who did.
Thank you very much for those who have stuck around and continue watching and are very interested in all that stuff that's been going on. And next week we'll continue on inside the Temple of Tyr with all of their questions about everything that's going on, if they've remembered and written stuff down.
Yep.
Notes.
Don't need notes, I remember.
Do you?
He
You know,
says that now.
It's quite funny
Oh my
because
God,
it's
the-
quite funny
the
because
box
it's
of
Got
doors.
something the Raven Queen just decided to take those memories away.
it's
And
not
who am
like
I to question my patron?
it's not like we record this thing and you can just listen to it again and know exactly what was said.
Like I said, I don't need notes, but I've got notes
Who
anyway.
has time for that?
Ain't nobody got time for that.
I listen to it.
Well, you have time for it.
I don't.
I listen to it
You'll be
while I
able to
work.
listen back and hear your great Jamaican accent.
Yeah, I know. Hey man, my Jamaican accent is good, man.
No,
That was horrendous.
What are you talking about? All my accents are horrendous.
That's what makes it fun.
Ragnar, man.
Ragnar, man.
Oh, that almost sounds appropriate. I hate it.
Actually, I've been trying to learn who everyone is Kidara, so I'm going to find out who you are. You know
Kitara.
who you are from Laugh.
Katara.
Don't have to answer.
She's not from
Where's she from?
Wangaratta.
Oh, there you go.
You want
One of your friends?
Yeah, she's one of my friends.
Yeah.
I jumped on a Discord and went paste.
Ah, fair enough. There you go. We know already now. We know everything about you. Well, some random person in Wangaratta, but anyway.
We know enough.
I've been to Wangaratta once.
Alright, Alice, you ready?
You went to Wayne.
So thank you all for coming along. As the Tuesdays we'll be having our late
Good
lab
night.
talks, and next Sunday we'll continue on with this little D&D game that we
Was that
played.
cowbell? Was that more cowbell?
Yep.
See you next week.
Toodaloo, folks.
See ya.
Cheese.